Hello, 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 and welcome to turn off the other sound there. And my name is the DMG, and with me is DM Scotty on his own channel, Father Craftmas. How are you?
Hey, great, great.
So we are live and going to take Skype calls today, and I'm going to be adding the chat window here if the damn thing will work. If we just hold on 1 second and I'll switch it on. Sorry, we had a bit of a program crash, so I've busy been resetting everything up, and this was the one thing that was not playing fair. So, let's see how this goes. It's not. Why is it? Okay. Um, Chat screen. Everyone can see the streamer stopped streaming. So, Scotty, just have a look at yours to see if it's still there. Is it still green?
It says good, and it's counting down. It says health is good.
But is it got the timer counter there?
Uh,
Type in the comments if you can see this video, please. Oh man, it wouldn't be Crafter's Tavern without technical difficulties.
I know, I know. Um,
So, so I'm very quiet apparently, so I'm going to boost my microphone and see if that makes a difference. It's playing with a big black box, and even though the Latin is sticky.
I mean, the preview looks like something's happening.
Yeah.
Um,
All right. So Larry says you can see it.
okay, good.
Okay. So now I'm just going to sort out this stupid thing.
So, will I see this on Skype?
No.
Okay. So you're just going to read the questions?
Well, you should be able to see it on the actual channel window itself.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. There we go. The comments are now in the video. I might
Yay!
echo. Apparently, I'm echoing again, so I'm just going to reset my mic. That's what turned it off last time. Okay. So hopefully that sorts out the echo. Alright, so once again, like 2 minutes into the video. Alright, so we are taking Skype calls, and the Skype is the DMG info. So you can, best thing to do is to add the DMG info, and then I can add you into the call. So add as a what you call it, contact on Skype, and yeah, away we go. Yes, it is in glorious 240p, this broadcast, because of the very low upload bandwidth in Australia, because I'm not on the National Broadband Network, because no one is on the National Broadband Network. That's it, I'm moving to Korea! Alright, so today we're going to be talking...
What I do is I really think about the story as far as like what I totally need to craft for the story. First, people can get distracted by certain wanting to do everything at once and get overwhelmed. Don't try to do that. What I do is I just pick the important elements of the story and craft those. And if I don't have time to craft everything, like say, I wanted 10 desks and I didn't have time to, have furniture for every room or something, don't sweat that stuff as long as you got the the idol for the final boss fight, you got, the major components of the set, and tiles, then that works good. And then as you start doing more stuff, you can add more. You can use that stuff you used last time and keep adding stuff, and then it becomes less critical. You can you can wing more stuff. You can, have more of a pool to draw from. So, yeah, that's kind of how I approach it.
Oh, good. I'm similar. Though I use modular stuff for the dungeons and things, most of the time I theatre of the mind stuff like towns and that kind of thing. But I am working on town stuff. But the problem is that a lot of people, I think, might want to craft absolutely everything. Suppose it depends
Right.
you're going to have to be heavily railroading then because if you're in a more sandbox style game, you're not actually going to be able to craft everything because the people are going to go, oh, why don't we go this way? And it's like, I don't have that.
Right, right. And don't freak out if you don't. Just in my games, I often go between theater of the mind and craft stuff. So, don't feel that you have to have every single thing crafted. If the group goes off somewhere, just wing it. And if you have the stuff, use it. If you don't, don't worry about it. Just go with theater of the mind for that part. So.
Yeah, I mean, as Russo was saying in the comments, it sounds like SNES games with all the tiles and everything, which is true.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean, computers have to be modular in the way they build things because they can't make it up as they go along. So computer games are generally the ultimate railroad.
Right. Yeah. True. Exactly. It's like you can't kill the NPC because then you can't do the quest.
Yep, yep. So,
Or it's you can't befriend that EP. There's also the other fact you can't befriend that NPC because
yeah.
they're supposed to be your enemy, or whatever. So.
So we've
Yeah.
got Nelson who's going to be joining us now. Infinite Roleplay. Just see.
Hey, man.
Hold on.
You can't befriend that. There's also the other fact you can't.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. How are you?
What's up, brother?
How are you, man?
I'm alright. I tried calling earlier before everything got started up, but I think I had your old Skype.
So you have anything to add to this conversation?
I don't know how far back behind I am off of the stream.
All right, boot him.
Get out of here!
Get out of here.
Generally, there's a 1 minute, up to a 1 minute delay between what we're talking about and Skype. So, we were talking about crafting tiles, and sometimes people go overboard and craft too many things, and then they have to force the railroad because you haven't crafted all the other stuff that people want to go and see.
Well, I mean, I don't. If you have the room, I don't see how you can ever craft too many things.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm with you there, man.
Yeah. No, I was saying in the comments, like, like how say like 2.5D next, and how you were doing yours, Gareth, where everything is really modular.
Yeah.
So as long as you can keep as many things as modular as possible, like some outdoor, doesn't really matter, some outdoor stuff, some indoor stuff, some dungeon stuff, and then just have as much fun as possible crafting accessories like tables, bookshelves, and then you can mix and match and get most of what you need.
Exactly.
Without having to stress out.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like you were saying before, I don't know how long ago because of the delay, but if you're not ready or you don't feel ready, go theater the mind for a bit.
Uh-huh. Yeah. I mean, totally.
Or battle mats, because battle mats are always nice too.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with a battle mat.
There's nothing as flat as a battle mat.
It's sad, but yeah.
You can still use them though, so.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's a tool, and if the players go off the track and you're not ready, or like I've always said, mix and match. Why not make some tiles regular 2.5D tiles, and then use some 2.5D next to augment it. If you need to.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, I build her starts dungeons, 2.5D next stuff, and
Right.
I draw my own battle maps. So
And you do some print stuff too, right?
yeah, yeah,
Like print tiles? Yeah.
yeah. I do. I draw them in Photoshop and print them out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Hey,
everyone should check out Nelson's channel for his how to make maps. Those are
oh
very,
yeah,
very
he's
good.
got some great videos
Oh
recently
yeah,
on that.
I just started doing that. Some tutorials on how to make maps and little me messing around with Photoshop, just showing little options to try to help people that have Photoshop and don't really feel so comfortable with it.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I have Photoshop. I think I've had Photoshop before I started playing D&D, and yeah, it's been a long time.
I wanted to make a little comment. I hope I'm really enjoying the toilet paper that DMG put on the side for our comments.
Oh,
The only issue I have now is it just doesn't want to screen grab his video. I'm not sure why.
Oh.
I don't know. Maybe it's I'm covered in toilet paper.
Yeah, probably.
The toilet paper is overloading the toilet paper graphic is overloading the
That's right. That's right.
Hey,
taking up all the bandwidth.
It's been proven time and time again. Toilet paper's some powerful stuff, man.
I love me some toilet paper for two
Oh, yeah.
reasons.
No, for like 12 reasons.
But you know what? The texture you can get off the toilet paper in crafting is bananas. It really is. I like what was it called? Those monsters you were making?
Oh yeah, they're out of toilet paper, man.
Yeah,
They're out of toilet paper.
yeah. It's great, man. All the little textures and how you blended with the hot glue and the toilet paper blended the shifting of the textures.
Uh-huh.
Flesh and.
It gave it a really nice texture. Really nice texture.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Thanks, man.
But yeah, I've been following. I've been having trouble lately. My who I'm following has been going in a million different directions. I went from I'm so alone in the world to wait, who, what? Oh, hundreds of channels to follow now. Yeah, but I've been following that stuff. It's been great.
Yeah, TP is probably like one of the best materials, but the problem is when you have to mix it with water and PVA, the drying time is like
Yeah. I know some people get frustrated by it, but you could use what is that? I don't want to say a dehumidifier, but it's like where you put nuts and stuff in it.
Dehydrator.
I can't remember what the heck it is. But anyways, yeah, dehydrator. Yeah, you could use that.
I got one right under my crafting.
Sweet. Yeah, I just have so many projects going on at once that it doesn't matter. It's like, okay, and I really think about projects in steps. So I'll do this step, and then I'll just set that aside, and then I'll work on something else. And so that's kind of how my process works. So I'm not one that has to like do it all at one time. I can break it down like that. I know some people though, they want to get it done, and that TP and glue is just infuriating to those people. They're like, nah, I want it to be dry.
I'm one of those people. That's why you don't see a lot of TP videos.
Yeah, no, I understand. I totally understand.
I'm impatient with it too. I mean, mostly because I don't have the space to work on 17 different projects at once. But yeah, I mean, as long as I don't know. If you just take a spray bottle and spray something and then layer and just I stipple with an old brush, some watered down PVA, and it sort of helps it a little bit not to be so maddeningly long.
Right.
So I'm going to add Kevin Watts to this video. It's in about a minute's time. So Kev, if you're listening, you're about to come on.
Awesome. Hey, man. Good to have you. This is fun.
Go up Skype today. Woohoo!
We'll just stay on the line. We'll keep adding people, but it'll probably get a little bit loud and obnoxious.
We'll just see how it goes. We'll just see how it goes.
Man, I've been on those Google Hangouts with like 10 people trying to all talk at once. So yeah, Google. The more people that are on, the worse the bandwidth gets.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Everything starts to look like this show at 240p.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, the guys on Skype can't see me because I can only dedicate enough bandwidth for the show to see my videos, so they can't see what I'm doing until they watch it back later.
Yeah, we're a
Hey,
minute
we're
behind.
we're
just like
so
everyone
awesome.
else.
It doesn't matter if it's 240p.
It doesn't matter what your resolution is. I may be 240p, but I challenge you to do the toilet paper thing.
Don't make me do a twerk solo.
Oh my god, hell no.
You know what? That was great. That was beautiful.
I wouldn't use the word beautiful.
That was utterly wonderful, fantastical, and fantastic.
Well, the likes are still ahead of the dislikes, so
I was
barely.
To do a video reply and start twerking myself. The only problem with that is I actually know how, and that might have been disturbing.
No, I haven't decided to put Sir Craft a lot on YouTube yet, so people probably have not seen that.
As soon as that was posted, I was like, "What?"
I'm totally impressed, Garth, because that thing is long. Like, I only did like 40 seconds of mine's only like a minute or something. Yeah, yours is like the whole freaking song. I was like, dang, that's awesome. Yeah, you did a great job.
It took me like 12 minutes to write it, and 4.5 minutes. No, I had to do it line by line because there's no way I could remember the whole thing because I'd only just written it. So it's like, okay, now what do I do? Okay, what's the next one? Blah, 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 blah.
You do each line would be a take.
That's right.
It was still
That's
great.
awesome.
It was still great.
And then I've got to make it visually interesting, so I've got to be holding stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
So, to the people who want to Skype, if you've added me as a contact, you can Skype through. I should have already added you.
Davy Jones asks, "Is it twerking like one of the 7 signs of the apocalypse?"
There are 7 signs?
Yeah. Sadly, though, it's not because.
And I can make them all out of glue and toilet paper.
That's right.
Yeah. No. See, if we start making the 7 signs of the apocalypse out of glue and toilet paper, there'll be no way to break them.
Larry says Scotty's next video is the wrecking ball.
I have seen a dude do his version of the wrecking ball.
That's horrendous, that wrecking ball video. That is horrendous. So, joining us on Skype now is Wylock, who actually started his channel this week. How are you, mate?
Yeah. Hey
I'm
there.
great. How are you?
Excellent.
So,
Hey, great to have you.
You're up to 80 subscribers or so now already?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Thanks very much. I think.
I'm one of them.
Yeah. So if you don't know yet, you need to check out Wylock's crafting videos. It's called, isn't it?
Wylock's crafting vids. Yep.
I'll type it in the comments.
Cool.
Hey, thanks.
So,
hey, I'm already subscribed.
You've been doing this a while because you've been on the forums a while, haven't you, Wylock?
Yeah, I've been mostly a lurker, few posts, few threads, but I don't often have original things to add, so I try not to, clutter with threads and stuff.
Oh, my videos weren't original, I just cribbed Scotty.
We like to see everything.
Yeah, Didn't we all? Yep.
Because someone might get inspired by that one thing that you do differently.
Yeah.
You know.
Well,
So,
one thing you gotta remember
Yeah.
that in this day and age, being original is very, very difficult. Coming up with a an original technique of something, but an original or new way of using a pre-existing technique, or maybe just your personality. Somebody might just enjoy watching you more.
That's right. That's right.
You know.
Christian Oliver says
Yeah,
he's now your 80th subscriber, Wylock.
Oh, it's official.
Let's get him up to 90. Start subbing.
Yeah, I
Thanks,
was already
guys.
subbed, so I can't sub
Sub.
anymore.
Shoeshine was my very first subscriber.
Shoot
I remember
time.
getting that email. It's quite a rush because I've literally never done anything with video editing or this is all my first time with all of this. So
It's very good.
you know,
This is the first time you've done anything with video.
It's the first time?
Very
Really?
good,
Dang.
very good.
you did a lot better than I did my first videos.
oh thanks.
Yeah, we won't talk about your early videos.
I just threw a camera up and was like, okay, here we go.
Yeah.
Microsoft, what is it? Free Microsoft editing program?
Movie Maker.
Yeah, Movie Maker, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's where I live. Yep.
Yeah, that's what I was using.
You managed to achieve that with Movie Maker is even more impressive.
Yeah, that's even more impressive.
It's my camera is my smartphone here.
You're like a Microsoft savant. Do you have a Windows phone as well?
No, it's some LG Spectra. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
It's Android. Yeah. But making videos is really fun. If anyone out there is thinking about it, the first time you put it down in front of yourself and start filming yourself, it's pretty terrifying. I was home alone the first time I did, and I was still weirded out. I was kind of, I don't know, shy, whatever. But you get over it real quick, and it is fun to make content and share it.
And then 450 videos later, you're doing twerking.
I can promise
Yeah, exactly.
no
Then you
twerk.
start to go insane.
As of yet, there are no twerking videos on Wylock's channel.
Must for
Yeah.
400
As of yet.
When I get up to 400
So, everyone go to Wylock's channel. We're trying to get him up to 90 subscribers by the time this show finishes.
Yes. Let's do it.
Thank you.
No worries. You deserve it, man. It's a great channel.
Yeah, good stuff.
Some
Thanks.
easy videos, man.
So,
And thanks for
sharing this
what's your take on the toilet paper issue we were talking about earlier?
Do you have any problem waiting with it, or do you want it to be ready right away?
Well, the tip that I would give is my wife likes to use the crock pot a lot, and it got a crack in it, so we got a new one. So the old crock pot, that's made to do low heat for a long time. So I use that for fast drying.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, I mean they're $25 brand new from Walmart, but we got a new one anyway, so I just took that, and it can get messed up. It doesn't matter. We're never going to cook with it again. So.
Yeah.
And recycling, I love that.
So I have no idea what a crock pot actually is.
I'll explain it using the voice that I use in my videos. All right. A crock pot is an oval-shaped basin held at low heat that is used to cook. How's that?
Excellent.
I don't know. Google it. You'll see.
The tutorial voice is a voice in which you do not speak in any way that would be considered natural or socially
Yes.
acceptable. That's fun.
Question for assembled breweries. Shoeshine.
Another great tip for drying the toilet paper is in the winter. I put my stuff by the heater vents, so the air blows out on them and dries them quicker. It usually dries them about a third of the time. So, but it has to be winter, of course. But I'm in Ohio, so yeah, we have a lot of winter.
Yeah.
Wylock, are you wearing headphones?
I was, but I took them off as soon as I connected via Skype.
Oh, okay, because you're getting an echo back from your speakers.
All right.
It might be yours. Not sure. But the moment there's an echo, people are going to start blaming me. It's all DMG's fault.
All right, I've set them several feet away.
All right, cool. It might be Nelson, actually. Nah, he's shaking his head. Oh, hell no!
Headphones.
He's got
I
headphones.
got the headphones.
Yeah. Those are for show. So Davy Jones says moving air is more effective to dry things than heat is.
That's true. I use fans too. That works good too.
I just employ someone to blow on it.
I was, but I took them off as soon as I connected via
Oh, okay. Someone's got the stream playing. You just want to mute the stream. There's also that as well. Otherwise, I have to put on God Echo mode.
Yeah.
Alright, so if anyone else would like to join the Skype conversation, you can see the Skype address at the bottom of the screen there, just with DMG info. Just add as a contact, and then I can add you into the group call. If you don't add me as a contact, then I cannot add you into the group call.
Do it now.
Do it now.
Do it. Got to do the goal.
Heat gun at low temperature with a steady hand.
No.
The problem with heat guns is when you add them to hot glue that is already cured, it becomes gooey again. And everything kind of just slides apart.
Yep. Liquid molten.
I did that on one of the things I was doing. I tried to use a hot gun to quickly dry the paint. The heat gun, sorry, to dry the paint. And it's like, oh, okay, yeah, the paint's drying, and then the whole thing just slides right off the tile. Oh, crap. No, there's like 45 minutes of work done.
Oh man.
Maybe I should have put it on that. I'll use a hairdryer.
I mean, but you don't know until you try it, right? I mean, that's what's great. You know, you got to try stuff. I mean, I've had plenty of stuff that's not worked. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's.
One other tip.
But hey,
One
you
other
should
tip
try
I would
it.
offer is, but if you're doing a small piece with acrylic paint and you want it to dry quick, if you have a lamp near you, I just hold it up next to the light bulb for about 60 seconds, and then it dries pretty much at the end, and you can move on to dry brushing or whatever.
That's a great idea.
So long as
Just
it's not
don't do
those cool LED ones where there's no heat.
Yeah, I think mine is an LED, so it's like, yeah, it doesn't put out any heat.
For
When I shoot my videos, I've got a huge, like 600 watt light. So, you know, I put anything up near that'll dry instantly and also burn my hand.
Well, when we have paint, we do paint parties at my house. So I'll have my friends come over and we'll do like miniature painting. You know, they'll be lucky to get like 1 or 2 done. I'll have like 20 that I'm working on at the same time, and I'll be like, I'll paint a little bit on this one. Theirs is pretty much dry by the time they get the one thing painted, but I've been painting one thing and then get another one, paint it, and get another one.
Have any of you ever tried alcohol?
For painting.
Instead of using water with acrylic paints, use actual
I
alcohol.
really haven't. How does that work? How good is that? I'm so used to the water.
Yeah, it thins it out. It dries. I mean, alcohol dries really fast. But it thins it out a lot.
That's true.
So it's almost like painting with one of the Vallejo air gun paints. You know how they're very thin? It's almost like painting with that. So you can get a few layers on, and it'll dry really, really fast. It's just
nice. I'll have to try that.
You learn something new every day on this channel.
Exactly. That's a great tip.
Use a spray sealer. Because if you add water first, it'll start to dilute everything. So use a spray sealer if you're painting with alcohol. but it'll get done really fast.
Huh. What do you use? 70% alcohol? I would say proof. You use 70% alcohol or 90%.
I use the whole thing alcohol. I just use alcohol.
Don't smoke.
Regular. You know, just a little bit of alcohol and like a drop of paint. And when you're using the alcohol, the paint goes a lot longer.
Uh-huh.
It thins out so much. So a single drop of paint, you can get a lot of the model done with the alcohol. Like I've used it to paint tiles with. I've used you know, like Home Depot, they have like an oops paint section where people don't like colors and they mark those like a pint of paint down for like $1 or $2. I've used it to paint tiles with by getting some black paint and some alcohol, thinning it out, and then just slapping it on and letting it seep into the cracks to get its own shape and shading. Then seal it and paint with acrylics on top. That way it has like an underlaying layer of like oil on the floor or something. So I painted some of my sci-fi tiles.
Cool. Awesome tip.
How does alcohol react with styrofoam?
You know what? I don't think I've tried that.
I haven't tried that either.
Just grab a scotch and just dip in some.
Yeah, I mean,
Try
if
that.
it reacts, it's going to take time. So
Yeah.
you can't really experiment on this.
Yeah.
But melting foam is a good thing, though. You know, melting foam is a good thing. Because I like to get stone textures by just spritzing spray paint on foam. You know, the tiny little dots will eat away a little bit, and then you'll get like a rougher texture. So when you paint it, you have a stone texture already on your foam. You don't have to stipple anything or worry about going back over it or anything. It's just like, okay, spritz, let it eat away, put your base coat, your dry brush layers, and you're done.
I'll tell you what, they're talking about doing molds with hot glue. I've never really done that, but a great mold release mold release kind of combination gets rid of the air bubbles is to take jet dry, like that jet dry stuff you get for the dishwasher, put it in a spray bottle. You could put the whole thing in a big spray bottle and then fill it up with water. And if you spray the molds with it before you put the plaster or whatever you use in it, it'll not only will it help get the air bubbles out, it'll be like a mold release. It'll come out very easy.
They do that when they're actually making when they're casting the mold. It's called the wet water method.
Yeah.
To break up the surface tension. Me, I'm cheap. I use when I make a mold or something. I tend to use if I'm using a cheap mold agent, I use a cheap mold release. I use vegetable oil from the dollar store.
Yeah.
Done.
I've experimented very only small amounts with actual mold making. To me, it's like if it doesn't dry in 5 minutes, I can't leave this 24-hour thing.
Well, that must have been when you saw the hot glue thing. You must have been like, "This is awesome," because hot glue is freaking fantastic for drying fast.
When I saw your video and I saw hot glue and the hot glue gun, because I've never really experienced a hot glue gun before, and I was like, that is like the greatest thing ever invented. It's like lick and stick stamps, man.
Yeah, it's just so you can just do so much with it. I just don't think that people really thought about it that way, you know.
Yeah.
They thought about it as like a scrapbooking thing, you know, where people make scrapbooks with it.
Yeah, I put the first time I used the hot glue gun, I just plugged it in and started trying to push the thing. Like, this is not working. Forgetting that you have to let it heat up in order to use it.
Right.
Crap.
I got an effective hot glue gun.
This is why you don't spend $5 on a hot glue gun.
None of them have switches. Why do none of them have switches?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a good point. That really is a good point.
But the first one I bought was cordless as well. Oh, that's great. It's going to be battery powered. No battery. It just heats up, and then you take it out of the thing, and it cools down. So you can use it for like 2 minutes, and then it sort of stops moving. So you have to plug it back into the base and redo it. Oh man,
That's gotta be frustrating. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because when I get going, man, I'm just like.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I got to be like, wait, how many hot glue guns did I use on this thing?
Yeah, don't count how many hot glue guns you use.
Yeah. Buy them by the gross.
But whenever they got sales on entire orders, I would the entire like spend $20 on just these things.
Yeah. It's like have a standing eBay order on hot glue sticks.
Yeah, just renews every month.
We're just
I need to
add,
freaking get on.
Demon Just today into the call.
You know what?
Cool.
Kevin Watches mentioned Future Shine, but I can't find it. Like every time I go looking for it, I can never find it. I want to use it for my child.
It actually goes by a different name in different areas. So I think it's called One Shine in some other places. But yeah, it's an acrylic-based, an acrylic-based thing, which is good for creating washes and stuff. But I think it dries glossy and not matte. So, but I've never
Yeah,
used
you talking about the pledge?
Yeah.
The pledge. The thing is, there's also three types of pledge. There's the one that you have to look for the back of the label. They all say pledge multi-clean, but you have to look for the one that doesn't have wax in it.
Yeah.
Because I messed up a whole terrain piece with wax. Thinking I got the right one. And messed
this
up
man
big
is
time.
this man is an expert miniature painter.
Yep. You should check out Demon Just with Jay. That's his channel. And also check out Wylock. We're still trying to push Wylock subscribers up to 90.
Yes,
by the time
subscribe.
Subscribe.
Yeah, he has some kick-ass stuff. I want to do. I'm like I said, I'm doing another shout-out show. Sometime the end of this week.
Yep.
Coming up, I'm trying to get at least 6 channels to look through. And Nelson, Infinity, I already did your channel twice.
What? See, oh god.
I did it with Scott. I did DMing info, and I did it by myself. I did it again on when I couldn't get anybody in the show. I just did shout-outs and just reviewed some channels.
So I'm on the chat there. I'm just showing you that's Wylock's channel there. Wylock's crafting vids. So that's where you got to go and subscribe. He'll be telling us what he's up to. What are you up to now, Wylock?
Next video is already made. I printed it earlier. It's going to come out next Wednesday, and it's a potion vendor shack.
Cool.
Nice.
What are you doing, Wylock? I couldn't hear.
A potion vendor shack.
Oh, that's gonna be cool.
There's a picture of there's a picture of it in video 6 there at the beginning.
Okay, cool.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, that's a great little item.
Thanks.
So how many subs are you up to now?
Let's see, 79.
Can't be.
After this, though,
More.
People are unsubscribing there.
The funny thing is that when I do a channel review, though, I unsubscribe from it for a little bit, so I could see it from a newbie's point of view when I do the screenshot.
Yeah.
And then I subscribe to it right after. So you might see one pop away. Definitely.
Yeah, you just need to refresh your dashboard there, and it should change it.
Yeah, I did. It's good. I refreshed it, but growth is it'll take some time. I understand that. I appreciate all the plugs. I really do.
That's all right. People may be just joining us. If you are just joining us, we have DM Scotty as usual. Obviously, this is his channel, so he has to be on this show.
Yeah.
I'm the DMG Info. If you don't know me, I have a channel called DMG Info. We also have Nelson from Infinite Roleplay channel. You'll see him in the chat. We have Wylock from Wylock's Crafting Vids, and we also have Manuel from Demon Jester J.
Hey, I think DMG and I should make a little announcement. Everybody knows AJ, awesome guy, fantastic. He's taken a bit of a sabbatical from the forum, so if you don't know that, now you do. So.
Okay.
Yeah, we love AJ, but he's taking a bit of sabbatical, so we wish him well on all the things he wants to do. And Scotty and I are going to be taking over the craft wars and all that kind of stuff. So expect teething problems and lots of echo.
Right.
I have a question.
But we love you, AJ. We love you.
I have a question for you guys, real quick.
Yeah.
Is anybody doing anything Cthulhu basically?
Cthulhu. Did you say Cthulhu?
Yes.
Yeah, Scotty's doing Cthulhu stuff.
I've been doing some sculptures and stuff.
Because there's going to be a LARP here in the Poconos. We're having this Scottish festival, and this LARP group is doing a Cthulhu thing at the Scottish festival.
Oh, that's cool.
That
sounds really fun.
I want to go, but I don't want to go.
Oh, why not?
I'll just say this.
To go insane.
I just became on May 7th. I became an uncle.
Oh, congratulations.
And my brother, he is Spanish Irish, and he wants me to go with him, but he's also his father was Spanish, was Scottish. He was Irish and Scottish.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to be. My brother wants me to wear his dad's old kilt. I don't want to wear a kilt.
Oh, I'm Scottish.
That's
I'd
the
wear a
main
kilt.
reason.
Come on, never little.
No, Nelson, I'm Spanish.
Let it tangle a bit.
Bye, guys.
Wear a kilt. It's all
Well, if you
good.
wear it, you can't wear any. If you wear it, you can't wear any underwear under it.
Peace, guys.
All right, peace out, brother.
Talk to you guys later.
See you, mate.
Peace.
Hey, take care, man.
All right, bye.
It's not commando if you're wearing a kilt.
Exactly. You gotta go commando if you're wearing a kilt. I think it's required in the Scottish rules.
So, to anyone who's just joined us, you can Skype us here. The DMG info is the Skype name. You must add me as a contact so that I can add you into the Skype call. We have Infinite Roleplay, DM Scotty, and Wylock on at the moment. And we're trying to get Wylock's channel up to 90 subscribers. So if you have not subscribed to Wylock's channel yet, you must do so. Otherwise, if I find you, I will kill you.
Hey, if we get to 90, I'll publish video 7 tonight.
Okay, there you go.
Awesome, yeah, you heard
it.
it.
Get video 7
Do
this
it.
evening rather than next week.
Yes.
And that's
So-
also going to make video 8.
So half a week early. So do it.
That's you hear it here first. Pre-release special.
Yep.
Only 10 viewers need to subscribe. Do it now. Watch it now, or have to wait till next week.
So, Scotty, what's happening with your Patreon video zine newsletter? Have you decided on a name yet?
I was thinking of going with Craftageddon. It'd be subtitled "Musings from the Lair of DM Scotty."
Cool. So long as
Love
you
it.
twerkathon or something.
So I'll have I did like an air guitar segment that I sent to
Nathan.
let me send it. Nathan, yes, sorry. I sent to Nathan to do the intro for me. I had a mic part there. So he's doing I did some green screen stuff with the air guitar, so We're kind of going for the heavy metal theme for the intro. should be fun. But yeah, the video will have like certain segments. I'll do like some like GM advice, and I'll do like crafts that I have coming up, and maybe like storage advice, and all different kinds of little segments in the newsletter / magazine. So it's gonna be fun. I've been working on it.
My fiance and I, she's actually in magazine publishing. She's a features editor for a magazine in Australia, and she wants to do a crafting magazine as a PDF, a monthly PDF. So, and then you said that, I thought, I don't want to step on your toes, but if yours is going to be video, then that's great, because mine will be PDF.
Yeah, mine will be totally video. Yeah.
So what we're discussing here is Scotty's Patreon newsletter, which means if you want to be able to get Scotty's Patreon newsletter vids, you actually need to be a patron. So check out patreon.com / the DM's craft. I think it is that right?
Yes.
Yeah. So you can subscribe, you can be a patron for like $1, and you can set your limit as $1 if you want, and then it comes out monthly. I'm pretty sure that's how it works.
Right. It's set up to do like whatever your pledge is per video, and at max I do 8 videos a month, but you can set it actually to be like a limit. So you could pledge $1 and then set the limit as $1. So you'd only ever pay $1 a month, and you would still get the magazine. So,
and that helps Scotty buy new equipment and paints and getting his getaway vehicle for all the crafting stuff he has to steal from the waste bins all around.
Yeah, I can soup up my getaway vehicle. Yes,
especially kitted out.
Exactly.
I'm signing up now.
Cool, thank you.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, it's going to be great though. The magazine's going to be really cool. So I'm excited.
So, anyone else want to join us on Skype? The Skype name is the DMG Info. Add me as a contact, and then I can add you to this call. So Skype now.
Yes, please.
It's becoming a bit of a telephone.
Yeah, it kind of is, isn't it?
Wylock needs your support to get to 90 subscribers.
Is this a country telephone now? Well,
I am actually.
Stop now and support Wylock so we can release his video a whole lot early. Like, release it today. If you get 90 subscribers, only 90, that's just 10 more away. You can get the video now. Get it because it's awesome.
Well, I work for PBS, and that sounds vaguely familiar.
Well,
It's your fault.
Because we pledge all the time.
I did watch a lot of PBS, and I listened to a lot of public broadcast radio. So,
Oh yeah.
they don't play
Perfect.
classical music on Hot 97. So.
Oh, another thing I wanted to mention I'm working on is I'm doing a DM Scotty adventure. So this should be interesting, but it's gonna be like a PDF adventure. I'm copying DMG.
No.
So it's gonna be called Under the Tavern 2. No, I'm just kidding.
The real
Under the Tavern across the street. No. It's going to be a PDF adventure. What I'm going to do is it's going to be called an adventure and a craft. And so I'm going to have a really cool craft that somehow ties in the adventure. In the first adventure I do, it's going to be a super boss. So it's going to be freaking cool. But so as soon as I get that done, I'll publish that, and it will be a very minimal cost. So yeah. So I thought I'd just tell everybody about that.
Excellent.
Cool. I mean, I'm working on something too, but it's not like a craft. Not a craft in what we usually do here. It's mostly for like drawing and digital map making.
Yeah.
I'm building a little. I'm trying to work out the kinks in my head of running an adventure game, like a tabletop RPG over the net, with a few friends from Facebook, where we're going to discover a map and draw the map as we discover it. And I'm still working out the rules as to allowing the players to literally make their own discoveries and basically be a temporary DM for the moment. So, I want to see how that goes. Like I've made the first Kingdom intro video. I was just working on the next one today. I've done the map, so I have the starter map set, the background core. So I think that'll be fun. And once I get a few benchmarks made, and work out some kinks through playing, I'll write it up and put the whole thing in PDF format too, and then
Uh-huh.
just post up some starter maps, like the known world and then area to explore with like
Cool.
beginning lore and stuff for people to use.
Yeah, that's gonna be cool.
Yeah, super
Sweet.
So Nathan is trying to join us on Skype, but he probably needs to restart his computer. Because Nathan, Scotty, and I, and some other people play in a Pathfinder game every now and again, and Nathan is always dropping out.
He's a barbarian, so in mid rage, he drops out. He's like,
I just rolled a.
Would he happen to be a planescape race?
And before anyone asks, no, we do not record these sessions.
no. My character is a young wizard named Shaz Penderwink.
My first character's already dead.
He died already.
He died everyone by he died saving everyone by splitting the party.
Splitting the party is like the best thing you can do in a game.
Absolutely. He was a thief, so he was after some treasure.
Yeah, it didn't work out so good.
One of my favorite, well, maybe not favorite, but some of the most fun characters I've ever played are rogues. Each type class. Like I have one I love playing that I call Future Man, and it's a 5th edition rogue that in game pretends to be a cleric of Halo. So I'm literally pretending to be a cleric. I'm pulling the by the holy light of Baylor, and he's nothing but an arcane trickster. That's all he is. He has the light spell. It's like casting light spell. Let Baylor's holy light bless you. Just light cantrip you, light cantrip there. Cast light on water inside of a container. Baylor's holy blessings will be upon you if you drink this magical elixir. Only for $9.95. It's just a rogue. Start backstabbing people left and right. I'm a rogue without sneak. No stealth. But I have specializations in bluffing and deception.
That's all you need.
Yeah, it's fun.
Hey, I want to be in one of your games, Nelson.
That would be cool. I mean, I don't know. I think I've become a little bit too synonymous with hard fight games, so I'm trying to move away from that. Or at least show people that I can move away from that. I think the 5th edition games, it's like the first game everyone died. The second game everyone died.
Dang! Hey, as long as you're having fun,
Yeah.
that's all that matters.
Which was good. Nobody was
Dangle the players over death.
Nobody was upset about dying. So that was a good thing.
Okay, so there's not a lot of comments happening in this chat window on the toilet roll. Whatever you can see here on the screen.
Yeah, we need the toilet roll to move up.
The toilet has to roll, bro.
Or you got a bunch of us in here. You got a chat. Nobody's asking any questions. What's up with this?
I know. What's happening?
Oh,
Do you have any questions?
I'll tell you, actually, you were talking earlier about castings and, solvents and everything.
Yep.
So far, I'm strictly a cardboard and hot glue man, but I am dancing with the devil and entertaining the idea of looking into, her starts and casting and stuff. If there's any, for me and anyone else out there like that, what would you recommend as a first, I guess, a first set of molds and pitfalls to look out for someone who has zero experience with it?
Just get in it. I mean, everybody that works with first starts in casting tends to shy away from plaster of Paris. You know, they have a whole bunch of bad stories about plaster of Paris. Plaster of Paris is a great starter material, and it's a great material to keep working with. Um, First start off with plaster of Paris. It's easy to mix, and basically you just pour water in a cup, and then you just keep feeding the plaster of Paris powder in it until you start seeing almost like a dry earth type thing happening where it's getting a little bit of cracks. It won't really start setting. It won't really catalyze until after you start mixing it. Once you add that motion, you have a limited time. So just you pour it in, you tap the table for a bit. If it has air bubbles, no big deal. Plaster of Paris is really cheap. You can get like a 5-gallon tub for like $5 or $4 or something. Depending on sales and where you go. And it's great to start off with. Once you start getting the hang of casting, because it's like anything else, there's going to be some trial and error. You can start adding PVA to your plaster of Paris and water mixture, and it will give it a lot more. Like it'll be more robust. It'll handle a lot more. Like you can't even sand it afterwards. It gets really hard, and it's basically. I don't order anything like dental stones because waiting for things to come in the mail drives me insane. So go to the store and buy some pops. But I think it was mentioned before. Jet dry. I'm getting a lot of feedback.
Okay.
Jet dry.
So keep it cheap to start. Don't waste good materials because you're going to make mistakes.
Definitely keep it cheap to start. And you can continue. Like I know on the YouTube it's not showing my camera, but I think you can find it. You see this little white thing here? It's plastic.
In the show you can't actually see his video. So he's holding up a piece of white stuff.
Okay. And I just cracked it by beating on it. Like I know nobody in the thing saw me, but it's plaster, and then you can do it together.
Okay.
No big deal. Not when you first start. Until you want to start like really getting to making custom molds. That's when you start working. Until then, plastic your friend.
Okay. Keep it simple. Got it.
For certain items you want to mold, you can use hot glue as a molding material. I mean, as a casting material.
Okay, so we're actually going to now bring Sean Murray into it. So I'm just adding him to the call, and we'll see what he would like to add to the conversation. Sean, are you there?
I am.
Hi,
Good evening.
Hi, how are you?
What's up, bro?
I'm excellent. How are you guys this evening?
Excellent. What part of the world are you from?
We are coming to you live from Texas today.
Texas. The heartland of America.
the hot land of America.
I'm busy watching Friday Night Lights, binge watching it on Netflix, so...
From what I hear, it's pretty accurate to life, so you're getting a good insight into the American South.
Cool. So, do you have any questions for us?
No, just a huge fan of you two. stumbled across your channel by accident a while back, actually.
Oh, yeah, cool. What was
And
the
it's
first
been nothing.
video? First video.
I want to say the logic or the reason why you should make the 2.5D tiles.
Oh, okay, cool.
Just your basic starter video there.
Yeah, cool. And then you binge watched it all the way through.
I binge watched quite a bit and heard you mention DM Scotty, and he hopped over to his channel for a little bit and kind of picked through it as I dug through my crafting supplies and decided, what do I want to make today?
So, how long have you been doing this now?
As far as for like tabletop gaming, probably a month, maybe 2.
Okay.
I'm kind of like DM Scotty. I come from a wargaming backdrop, Warhammer, things like that. So I've got a lot more experience with 3D things, the hot foam cutters, things like that. But very, very impressed with what you guys have come up with.
Cool, thanks. I'm busy working on ultra cheap terrain boards for war games. So
okay, that'll be good to check out.
It's going to be it's a super secret formula, but once you see what it is, everyone's going to go, oh my god, why don't I think about it? But I've been scouring the internet to make sure I'm the first person to mention it.
Well, we'll look forward to it then.
Uh-oh. I wonder how cheap it'll be. We'll find out.
Yeah. So, we're also doing a subscriber drive for Wylock's channel. So that's Wylock's Crafting Vids. I'll just scroll up in the chat to show his channel name. Where is it? Where are you? Nope, that's not it.
And I'll just put an entry in the chat as well, and then they can just click my name if they're interested.
Yeah, just click on Wylock's name. There you go. Boom. But what's nice is I can unravel the toilet roll here on the left. Scotty, I can't hear you. Scotty, your microphone is disconnected or something. Scotty, can you hear me? Oh, lost Scotty. Scotty.
Uh-oh.
Scotty has not working.
Scotty's now a trophy crafter. It's meant to be seen. No. Oh, it's terrible.
So, you're on the DM's Craft channel. This is Craft's Tavern, obviously. And on the Skype at the moment, we have Nelson from Infinite Roleplay. We have Wylock from Wylock's Crafting Vids. And we have Sean as well from Texas. Do you have a channel, Sean?
I do not. I had posted earlier. I was at work when I started watching this. You can tell a lot of work getting done there. But I had posted the question, do you guys have a preferred video editing software, and is there a cost associated with that?
So, I use Premiere Pro CS4. That's probably one of the more expensive ones. But I bought that as an education product many years ago. So, if you have a student or someone in your family, you could scam an education version. Otherwise, Sony Vegas is very good. And some people use Windows Movie Maker, but I cannot. I just hate that software. There's also one called Lightwave, which is a free download, but that's a more professional product. So there's quite a big learning curve on that. But once you understand how that works, you can pretty much use anything. And that's quite a powerful piece of software, which is also free.
Okay, excellent. Yeah. I've got a lot of the crafting stuff. I just don't have a lot of the video production stuff.
You can just start. I mean, Wylock is using his phone and Windows Movie Maker. And if you haven't seen
that's
them,
what
they are very good. So that's what you can achieve with entry-level stuff.
Absolutely. I've kind of binge watched his stuff too, and it's very well done, very simple to follow.
So if
Thanks.
you haven't subscribed yet, go forth and subscribe. Alright, so where in the world is everyone from at the moment? So we've got Australia, we've got America, we've got Texas.
So come on, you can't forget New York. You got New York here too. Don't
New
forget
York's
about
a
New
small
York.
island we just disregard because it's such a small town we don't even put on the
You know what? Screw that. Why does everybody think Manhattan is New York?
I'm just riling you up, man.
Son of a-
So we've got Oklahoma, we've got Florida, we've got people who aren't typing fast enough, Arkansas, Wyoming,
Us.
us, small village on Mars just outside the capital city, Wibble, Minnesota, Seattle, Earl T. Gray, why haven't we heard from you, mate? Jeez, now I have to add you on Skype.
Is El Tigre.
LT Gray. Adding LT Gray.
What?
Touch. There is a child. Nathan, how are you?
Oh, good. Finally got Skype to work. I don't know how, but whatever. It works now. So
As we say in the IT industry, have you tried turning it off and turning it on again?
this was a weird deal. I had to like re-download it, install it. When I was running updates, it wouldn't work. So whatever. I blame Microsoft because they own it. Oh, you say
I
hi?
had to hack my computer so that it won't display ads.
Oh, nice.
Hi.
Oh, yeah. Ivy's been saying hi, Saki, all night, which is Scotty.
Hi, Saki.
Say hi, girls.
Hi, Saki.
Hi, Scotty.
You see him?
Saki.
Yeah, that's Scotty.
Saki.
Yeah.
Hi, Saki.
So this might officially be your youngest fan.
Hi.
Scotty, we can't hear you. So,
Oh, here we go.
this is Nathan from Earl T. Gray's the channel. You may know him from Crafting Times and his 1980s themed intros.
Oh, you're that Nathan. Oh yeah, I love your intro.
The amazing 80s intro.
So I'm
Thank you.
I'm gonna put your video in Scotty's window here so that the girls can get on the show. Hold on one second.
Oh, here. Yeah, let me pull it up. I'm not sure what the lag is on YouTube.
It's about a minute later.
Okay, I'll have it in the background. Just got to make sure I mute it, otherwise your brain starts to go nuts with the lag.
So hello, ladies. What are your names?
He asked what your names are. Did you hear him? What's your name? What's your name? Say it, Ivy. She's camera shy. What's your name?
Ruby.
Ruby. And the other one, I'm sorry, gang, but she decided Netflix was more important.
Netflix is more important. I'll see you guys later.
These kids can always get out of bedtime if they say, I want to watch a Scotty video. Oh, there you are. See, you're up there. That and Star Trek: The Next Generation, they can get out of any bedtime as long as they pull those cards. I'm a softie.
I wish I could have got out of bedtime for Star Trek.
Yeah, I used to get off of bedtime for Star Trek too.
Yeah.
But the
I
first
think I'm gonna have to make that a house rule.
Roll for perception.
Did you have a question for Scotty?
Oh.
No? Okay. No, you can ask whatever you want when you're on here. The girls are deciding if they have any good questions for Scotty here, so
Scotty,
give them a
your
little time to
audio
think.
is not
Oh. Don't please.
Don't get down.
dead
I
air
can hear him
at the moment.
typing.
I'm typing to Scotty to tell him his
Oh,
audio's
you're-
not working.
Well, if we're waiting, I'm going to sing a bardic song I wrote for my campaign. In yonder year of the dragon. I'll keep going if it's dead air.
I'm going to. I've just got to get to my front door, so you can chat amongst yourselves.
Okay, so we're in charge while you're gone? Okay, listen, everybody. Don't you hate Scotty and DMG? Gosh, those guys really bug me.
All the glue gun shenanigans.
Yeah.
No, you're not back yet, my friend. You're moving, but you're not to be heard. You have to play with internet and technology. It's more advanced than glue gun.
You can ask him. Oh, we should wait till his mic starts working again. Do you see him? You see him up there?
Sucky.
Kevin says hi, Ruby and Ivy. Kevin from Texas. Say hi to Kevin.
Hi. Sucky. Hi, Sucky.
Fuck is the only one that matters.
Hi, Sucky. Hi, Sucky. Hi. Hi,
Oh, looks like Scotty's reconnecting.
Hi, Sucky. Hi.
I'm sorry about that. eBay pickup.
Do you have to sign for a package or what?
No, I had to give them a package.
Oh.
Scotty's jumped out, so we'll try and add him again.
This is his channel. What the
I
heck?
know. How dare he?
Bale whale, man. Come on.
We have arrived to take over the DM scrap channel.
So we'll put Nelson in front and center.
Hey, you need to decide if you want to let Scotty ring back in or not.
My phone's beeping, so it could be him. He's re-signing in.
Speak, friend, and enter.
Hopefully. Unfortunately. Oh,
What did I miss?
I short it out.
Chocolate. Everything sound like Scotty, are you there?
Back, guys.
I think Scotty stopped, so the stream may have disconnected. It should be streaming from my machine.
I don't know. I feel confused.
It's still showing. What's up, Manny?
We're still alive!
We are still alive! We have survived the chaos and destruction of what was something. Oh,
Welcome to the craft bowl!
Pencil. What happened? Pencils.
Hi to Mama.
Hi, Mama.
Ivy needed to chime in.
Alright.
Mama.
Hi.
Mama.
Do you have a crafting question?
Mama.
No, Mama's not on. Mama's not here. That's why you kids are up late on a internet live show. Because I'm a bad parent.
Hey, I just put my 11-year-old to bed, so my 8-year-old's downstairs. I don't need any more.
I'm either totally winning or totally losing at parenting. I haven't decided which one.
You're winning.
You need to start a parenting channel.
You're still
How
alive.
to do it right.
I have thought about doing a spin-off thing about kind of parenting RPG kids. But
I wanted to write an app that takes care of your kids for you and call it Instagram.
so it feeds the kids chocolate chip
played,
cookies
sir.
every half hour.
That's right, it just dispenses cookies.
Your 2-year-old breaks out their iPhone and just texts for a cookie.
That's right. It's got a cookie.
Nah, I kind of want I kind of want that app
Cookies.
No, it's got to be Cookie Monster though. Cookie. Blah, 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 blah.
You ready for bed yet, Ivy?
Alright, so we are live and we're trying
Oh, Scotty's back.
We're trying to get Scotty back.
Whoop.
Scotty can hear us? No, your audio is still not
John,
working.
what kind of paper machine is that?
I'm just typing in the comments so you can see. Audio is still not working. Alright, so who do we have now? Right, so we've got Nelson from Infinite Roleplay. We've got, I can't see everyone's names here, sorry. We've got Scotty, who is audioless at the moment. We've got Wylock from Wylock's Crafting Vids, sorry. And we have DMing Jester J. And we have Sean from Texas. And Nathan from Earl T. Gray.
Yep.
No, still can't hear you, Scotty.
Speak slowly.
We're
Sounds like-
Ash in a couple seconds.
So 2 syllables.
Sounds like duck. What?
Playing charades on the DM's
My hot glue gun melted my microphone.
No, what we gotta do is just do the voice.
Whatever he's saying, it's gold. We're missing it.
All right, the next world of Craft War is to make a microphone.
Hello, my name is DM Scotty. So I am now doing DM Scotty's voice.
All right, we're gonna hit it with some dry brush, not too hard. You don't want to kill it or anything.
Just slap it on there.
No, you gotta get all Bob Ross. You know, you got the dry brush.
I thought we were gonna do some sexy, Scotty time.
Yeah, Scotty, you can still do all your dance moves, even if we don't have any audio. Oh, okay. The viewership is dropping by the second.
We're switching to someone else now.
We all gonna start doing dance moves.
All right. So does anyone have any questions in the comments? We be waiting for comment questions.
Ivy, you have a question? Ask a question. I just love making it weird with the baby chiming in.
Are you poking her?
I think there's a question by Daniel
Mama.
He said his name wrong. But,
Nathan, how old is she?
She's I think 21 months. She turns 2 in August. Ivy, here, tell everybody a secret. Tell them a secret.
Mama, Dad. Mama.
Oh, really?
Mama, Dad. Mama.
Share stage, because then they talk back.
Mama.
Hey, Ivy, do you like PVA or hot glue for small projects?
Mama, Dad.
Aww.
What do you think about Nelson's homemade paste using talc powder? Is it truly dangerous?
Mama, Dad.
It's definitely dangerous.
definitely. That's why I switched the coin toss.
What is your opinion on nuclear proliferation in the Eastern Bloc?
I work in nuclear power. I could offer an opinion on that.
Who works in nuclear power?
Mama.
Me, Wylock.
Oh, Sean. Oh, cool.
Mama,
I have a friend
Sean-
whose brother
Sean
is a.
knows.
Huh?
Sean
Oh,
most
Wylock,
definitely
I'm sorry.
does not work in
I'm
nuclear
sorry.
power.
I saw you guys backwards.
DMG is nuclear powered, but that's about it. So, Master Mike wants to know, what are your next video projects? Nelson, what are you up to next?
Actually, I was working in Photoshop earlier, and I just got done rendering the video, just showing how I was making silhouetted icons for different races and like steampunk stuff. Yeah, I think I'll probably start working on some tutorials how to make more like satellite view maps instead of the old school sepia or beat up looking fantasy maps. How to cheat like almost 2.5D, but in that form, in world that form.
Cool. Wylock, we know you're doing the what was it again? The gems.
Yeah, the next one's it's a like a potion vendor shack. You could make it anything you want. Then I'm doing cave tiles for the 1.25 grid concept. Then after that, I've had a lot of PMs asking about how I do my paper miniatures, so I was gonna do a vid on that. And then after that, how I do my maps. So right now I'm trying to find some good free screen capture video software, which I have no idea yet. But
Wylock, contact me on a PM later. I'll help you with that.
Okay, we'll do. What's your handle again?
Demon Jester J.
Yeah, okay.
He's in the Crafters Content Creator Forum.
Gotcha.
Well, Scotty's trying to reconnect you.
Anybody hear me now?
We can hear
Yes.
you!
Hi, Saki.
I'm no longer banished.
Hi, Saki.
That's it, you're banished.
Hi.
Hi, sweetie pie.
If I wanted to be silent, I'd just do this.
My daughter loved her binky. And when it was time to she couldn't have it anymore, we cut off the binky, and so she'd put it in her mouth and just fall out, and she put it in her
It's like watching somebody detox.
Yeah, it was.
We got my daughter.
But I need the big.
Off the binky. My great grandmother cut a hole in the binky and got a plastic fake worm and put it inside the binky. And she just said, "Look what you've been sucking on. It has a worm in it." Ever since that day, the kid never touched the binky ever again.
Well, you could say that to all women, actually.
No, now you really are banned.
We'll delete that out.
And there's the giggity right there.
And that was the show, ladies and gentlemen.
Giggity count.
I just lost 100 subscribers.
Wylock's channel is 50-50.
And Wylock's just a guy who's subscribed.
Lucky 9 yet?
Lateral damage.
So, has your subscriber count gone up yet?
Yeah, let me refresh again. 83.
83, come on, 7 more people. There's got to be 7 people in the chat who have not subscribed to Wylock's channel yet. That's wrong. Come on now. I know you're watching this video now, but you will queue up to watch later with his whole channel. Alright, so on the chat at the moment we have, on Skype at the moment, we have Nelson from Infinite Roleplay, we have Nathan from Earl T. Grey, we obviously have Scotty, who's below me in the video here.
I'm back!
I'm the DMG. We also have Wylock from Wylock's Crafting Viz, and we have Demon Jester J, and Sean from Texas. Hopefully I covered everyone there, and I'm going to start writing all this down, because there are like...
I think when I do make a channel and I do start putting vids out, I'm going to name it Sean from Texas, just because of this chat.
No, crafting with Sean from Texas.
No, he's an RC. Sean from Texas is an RC fanatic.
Friday Night Craft.
There you go. Make little football stadiums.
Here's a question for the group. How did you pick out your YouTube name?
A lot of thought.
I
I really did. I thought of a bunch of different things, and like the YouTube name that I'm going under, and the drawings that I have of the Ouroboros, the intertwining serpents. I used Mayan ones because some of the things that Ouroboros represents, besides infinity, is unity and fellowship. So anything tabletop is in the day and age where everything's digital and people are playing MMOs online, and you have a term called troll, which before the internet you really wouldn't have it because if somebody was being a pain, it's more like, screw you, get away, you don't belong with us, you know. But everything tabletop, whether it's tabletop RPGs, board games, war games, it's a place where people can physically come together and enjoy having a communal experience. So I chose infinite roleplay because the Ouroboros is associated with infinity, and also unity and fellowship. And for me, role playing games are fun. So there you go.
All right,
Wow.
Scotty, you're up.
Okay. Mine has kind of has a double meaning. Okay. The DM, you know what DM is, Dungeon Master. Yeah, I just came up with it. We started playing D&D again. I'm like, okay, let's do these tiles. Why don't I call it the DM's Craft? That sounds good. So that's how I came with that. But DM also stands for David McFarland, which is my real name. My name is David Scotty McFarland. So my first name is actually David, not Scotty.
That's awesome.
Now you're going to get inundated on Facebook.
David, why haven't you called me? I've been trying to get a hold of you, David.
So if Wizard came at me and said, "You can't call yourself DM," I'm like, "Yes, I can. My name's David McFarland."
Mine was.
All right, DM info, you're next.
Yeah, I wanted it to be, I'm Dungeon Master Gareth, so DMG. And so I look for DMG.com, which is obviously taken by some large corporation, because any three-letter combination is most likely taken.
Right.
And so then I thought, okay, well, I'll do .info was like $2. So I'm like, okay, I'll do .info, but that was also taken. Oh, all right. So then I'll be the DMG because it's close to the Dungeon Master's Guide. So that's cool. And that's info about the Dungeon Master's Guide. So there we go, the DMG info.
Just to give you a hard time, I should only refer to you as the DMG. Hey, the DMG, do you think you could help me with some questions I have, the DMG?
That's right.
I keep up forgetting his real name. I'm sorry, guys. I stink at real names. Wylock, you're next.
Yeah, well, I'm not nearly as creative as you guys. Wylock's Crafting Vids is Wylock's Crafting Vids. Wylock's been my handle for forever. I think I started playing D&D when I was like 12, and my first character was named Wylock. And that's just, I've used that ever since for everything online. So if you see a Wylock out there, that's me.
That's
Wylock's Armory is the umbrella, I guess, brand. I was into Flash game development a couple years back, and you can Google things out there for Wylock's Armory, but that's why my icon is what it is. So Wylock's Crafting Vids fits in that.
Awesome.
Nathan?
Earl T. Gray, I had, before I even did a YouTube channel, I had a blog because obviously Captain Picard, what's his favorite drink from the Replicator?
Earl Grey tea, black.
No, hot. That's right. Temperature is hot. And then I actually was making some tea, and it looked like how it was written. It looked like it said Earl T. Gray, and then I kept thinking about it, how it sounded like Spanish. El Tigre is a tiger, and I just thought it was kind of a goofy, whatever sort of name. And it's funny. People kind of 50-50 either call me my handle Earl Grey Tea or Earl T. Gray. And I don't really care. It's just kind of funny. Like one of those things that it's tough to get right. Yeah. So
I've
then
probably done that.
yeah, and a lot of people that know me or see my stuff or know me on our Facebook page call me Nathan too, which is fine. But so then I started posting the Crafting Times, which originally was Crafting with Nathan, which turned into Crafting Times. And then I thought, well, maybe I should make a Crafting Times channel. And then I started coming up with different ideas of different types of content that I wanted to do about not just RPGs, but all sorts of things. So I stuck with the channel name for now. So we'll see where it goes.
All right, I asked everybody, so it's not my turn to tell you why. My used to be the Joker in every role-playing game I ever played, from Dungeons & Dragons all the way to wargaming. I owned every Joker handle from Yahoo all the way to Bing, and a certain magazine company that makes comics bought it from me. So I had to change my handle, big time. I joke around about my past demons, so I figured, who jokes around? Who's the best joker out there? A jester. Demon, jester, Jay. I joke around about my demons. That's it. I joke about my past demons.
Cool. I like your logo. It's sweet.
Yeah, that's a very cool logo, that one.
I'm making another one. The one with the jester cap, that was supposed to be a tattoo. And the person I was going to go to put it on someone else, so I have to now change that logo.
Speaking of tattoos, Nathan, I think I'm just going to pop you on the screen here so we can see see yours.
On a spot.
There we go. Up a bit. There it is.
Ah, please.
That is dedication to the fault.
That's dedication.
Awesome.
Yeah, I love my car, so I thought I'd have my license plate number tattooed to me, then I thought about selling the car.
Actually, this was part of the Hasbro buyout of TSR. I was required to get a tattoo back in the late '90s, so it's a really long story, but it's complicated.
My tattoo is letters. It's all letters in the form of the dragon.
Cool.
And it's Gaelic, and it says, "Let your spirit be free and the dragon spirit."
Neat.
I spent like 3 months making it.
And 11 years trying to scrape it off.
I'm getting honest truth, when I get the money, I'm getting about 4 more.
I've had to learn to explain now when people ask about it. Oh, you got a tattoo? Let me see it. They go, "What's it mean?" So right away they don't know. So I say, it's a Welsh symbol for courage.
You should get that to any game shop.
it.
People don't know what that means.
They believe it every time, so it's worked.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm sure they do.
It's Korean for mining. Alright, so if anyone else wants to join us in Skype, you can Skype the DMG info. Just add me as a contact, and then I can add you into the group chat, because we've now got 6 people in the Skype chat. And we're also trying to push up the subscriber numbers for Wylock, so Wylock's Crafting Vids. You must go and check it out. There's 6 videos at the moment, I think. And we're trying to push to 90 subscribers.
I thought you meant 90 videos.
No, that's next week's part. The crowd has spoken.
I give props that he released all those in one shot, though.
20 videos
that's hard
a week.
to do.
Oh yeah, just sort of a binge session, putting all the content together. But the whole, sometimes you see all this great content and you got to wait till next week, and sometimes that's frustrating. So I figured it'd be a little edge, something unique for me to do, and maybe set the channel apart, something to make it unique from the start.
Yeah, until the
Well, I like the way, to be honest, like I said before on Facebook, I said to you on Facebook that the playlist is awesome because I like people that set up playlists of other stuff. Scotty does it. DMG Info does it. I've told Nelson to do it.
Nelson's been slacking.
Hey, I kind of sort of started.
And I like how I like seeing things. I like the reason why I'm doing my channel reviews is I'm trying to tell people what they need to get done. Like everybody should make a 1 minute, 2 minute intro video for the show, your channel, as a commercial, a small commercial, because that one video, a lot of people watch it first when they're new.
Yeah.
So if you do like a little summary of your channel, it's great.
Talking about the trailer, like for non-subscribed.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know how
Intro-
to make a trailer.
intro
'cause I
trailer.
do everything.
You just shoot a video and then you go into the settings and make it the trailer video.
So it's like, hey, I craft stuff, but I draw and I paint and I make monsters and I draw in Photoshop and I make maps and
Yeah, just
In a
rip
world
that.
where a man crafts all day long, you have reached the ultimate destiny.
It's more like, hey, my name is Nelson. I make stuff.
Hey,
Watch me.
mine. I did mine before I did my show. And I'm going to be making a new one soon. Because I'm going to try. I want to start my show up again, but I'm trying. I want to do a different format than just the questions like I did with Scott. I want to change it up a little bit. Add more questions. Get people from Skype. Get other people, like you know how you're doing this live show. Well, my show, my new format of because it's season 3. I have to up it up because I got season 1 and season 2, and I haven't made a season 3 because I kept on moving. I've moved 12 times in the past 2 years.
What? Jeez.
That's what happens when you're on the FBI Most Wanted list.
I'm not that bad anymore.
We're like, we want your craft secrets. We're gonna waterboard you till we get your craft secrets.
Water me board.
No, don't waterboard me. It'll get my cardboard wet.
I got a question for that though. What is the one free material you got from crafting that is the easiest to get? And don't say cardboard.
Toilet rolls.
That's still cardboard.
Hey, you stole mine.
Newspaper.
Damn. Toilet paper.
Newspaper.
It's on the roll.
Because
Well, I
I'll
use
be
up
honest
the
with you,
roll. I use up the roll and then
I'll
I
say
use the
mine real quick. The best crafting material I've got was coffee stirrers from the Starbucks, the wooden ones. Every time I go to a Starbucks,
yes.
I grab a handful of those suckers and throw them in my bag.
Yes, people throw them out all the time. Take them, recycle them, craft with them. Stir straws are great for crafting. Or stir sticks.
I hit a foam board jackpot at my work. There were a bunch of old drafting designs from architecture build on black foam board, and like the printout peeled off totally clean. So I've got like 20 sheets of black foam core for nothing. So one thing you could check for is call up if you have an architectural place, and just ask them, hey, do you have any used foam board I could use for projects? Or another one I just found out. In our county, there's a spot where you can drop off hazardous materials, and they have a free shelf of paint, poly. I found a full can of texture spray paint, the stone texture, like everything. So I'll probably do like a mini vid of a loot video of all the stuff that I came across, but that was all free. Spray paint, adhesive spray,
Nice.
It's kind of a jackpot, and one of them was even a spray on adhesive you could use on foam too that wouldn't melt it. It was like foam safe. It had a $20 sticker on the can, so it's something to check out too. Yeah.
Grand Theft Cardboard.
Well,
In the
in the
United
chat
States,
here on
in the United States, you can get free boxes from U.S. Post all the time, and they're not like light cardboard either. They're heavy duty.
Right.
And I wanted to. Now I had to ship some stuff out for Christmas time, so I went to the website and ordered 5 boxes. Well, I don't know how 5 boxes became 50 boxes, but they ended up shipping me 50 cases full of these micro boxes.
Oh my gosh, 50?
50 boxes. Now, a case has 10 boxes in it. They sent me 50 of those boxes with 10 each. So they sent me 500 boxes.
Wow.
I was like, what am I going to do with all this? So I contacted the U.S. Postal Service. I was like, listen, you sent me so much. I can't use all this, and I don't know what I'm going to do with it. Oh, we can't take it back. I'm like,
What?
Your tax dollars at work.
Yeah. No wonder they're losing. No wonder they're
They
in.
don't mess
They're in
with
hawk. They sent everybody 50 boxes of boxes.
okay, lean over. You can say hi to everybody. Lean over. Come on, come close in.
Hi.
This is
Hey
my little
there.
one. She's left.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay. Say goodnight.
Hi.
I'll be right back. I have to put her back to bed.
Hi. Hi, Cookie.
So there've been a few questions in the
Hi.
chat, and one of them was if I'm going to post any D&D sessions. I will not be posting D&D sessions. I will be posting sessions related to my own system that I'm writing. We're busy beta testing that, and I'm just negotiating with the players, you know, that it's okay for me to dump all this crap on the internet.
Yeah, it does kind of change the session a bit when you.
That's right. When
all
you
this
know
stuff.
yeah. I'm not going to do it live because I'll edit it down. But yeah,
Right.
It'll be some crazy stuff that they'll go. No, I don't think we should be doing this.
like the game, Scotty, like the game you, Gareth, and I play, and we all play in the nude. It's okay to let everybody know, but we couldn't play that on YouTube. It would violate their policies. So
Right. Exactly.
Exactly.
I love you, Daddy.
Is that a new D&D? Is that a new channel? Nude D&D? Drinking and nude D&D?
The naked DM. That's actually a channel, I think.
Drinking and nude D&D? Okay.
No, naked.
Or I thought that was I hit it with my axe.
Thank goodness you guys don't have me on the camera turning red because my 18-year-old will give me a big hug.
Kevin Watts asked where he can find links to the forum and Facebook groups. If you just look in the description and you open up the description of Scotty's videos, it should be down the bottom.
I actually don't have those in there yet, but I will put them in there. So if you come back, they'll be in there.
You know that YouTube can automatically do that. You can set the default settings so that you don't have to paste that in every time.
Really?
Oh, really?
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So you go into your channel settings.
That'd have been good to know 400 videos late earlier.
think how much time you've lost.
That's right. Damn.
The years I can't get back.
I'll calculate about half a minute
talking about my
Yeah. So where is that?
My channel is putting all the text links, not text links, but the special words. You know what I'm talking about? Like the Q words for your videos.
No.
What for searching? You know how you put
the keywords, the tags. Yeah.
the keywords.
No, you
I
can't
can remember.
do those.
Oh, that is just the hardest thing for me to do when I make a video, because if I'm
I
doing
know,
it,
it is hard.
because I have to put when I did Scotty's video, it's easy. It was DM Scotty, his video, what was about Dungeons and Dragons and roleplay. Done. Very simple. Then I had painters. You know how many things? If you put the word painter in there, you get people go, "This is not about painting."
Right.
No, the person that I interviewed paints figurines. Hello.
If you really want to drive traffic to your channel, you put in naked Scarlett Johansson in the tags.
Yeah, and then
you
you
get,
get
like, all
flagged by
dislikes.
YouTube and get use your channel.
It's like, or twerking. I heard that twerking is pretty hot.
Yeah. You just do cardboard cutout.
Hey, the video has over 2,000 views.
No, not only do I get
Somebody's
video,
watching that
I also
for
got
me.
that.
You have on video.
So, is there a way to automate tags into your videos?
No, you can't. No, you can't.
I have
That's
a
so
text.
annoying. I hate doing the tags.
I've got a text edit file that I have the ones I typically use, and then I just
Same here.
separate it by commas, and then you just paste it, and it takes care of it.
Oh, okay. So if you put commas between each word, it'll work.
Yep.
Yep.
The more you know.
Well, hot damn.
This is the basics, man.
Yeah,
I
but
put that from now on. I hate.
There's
doing
this
that.
new-
Okay, what are the ones I have? Okay,
Dude, you've got
this
20,000
one.
There's this newfangled program called Text Edit. You might have known it as the electric typewriter. Well, this is the best new thing since sliced bread.
Because I didn't want to copy
Well,
each
it's
word,
called
have
Notepad.
a list and copy each
Yeah,
word
Notepad.
and paste it in there. That's annoying. Okay, so if you just put commas between everything, it.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, this internet thing is amazing, isn't it?
Hello, All right. So, joining us on Skype, we have Wylat from Wylat's Crafting Vids, obviously DM Scotty, who visits his channel. We have Sean from Texas, who's going to be doing a channel called Sean from Texas. And Nathan from Earl T. Gray and Demon Jester J. I don't know, Nelson dropped off, so
Yeah.
lost
Oh, guys, I cut my hair.
You cut your hair.
Yeah. You
You
notice?
lose all your strength.
I have kids. I lost all mine.
All right.
I-
Any other questions? People aren't asking questions in the chat. You're all on the
I've got
toilet
a-
roll there.
I've got a question for us in here. As video content makers, I would love to hear, and I'm sure it's a different answer for everybody, but what workflow works the best? I've heard some people say, I shoot all my stuff on Monday, I edit all my stuff on Tuesday, I post it on Wednesday. It's hard to find a good rhythm. I guess in my mind, I always think like, oh yeah, I'm totally gonna have time to just, hammer this all out in a couple hours. And I mean, I know better than that, but has anybody kind of had a process that they've been using that works well? I started kind of
I have one that worked
Taking-
for a while, but then changed.
yeah,
Because the analytics
I started doing note cards pre-thinking of all the content I want to cover, and then so I at least have it written down. So there's like a pre-production, and then when I shoot it, I just kind of go off of that. But I don't know. Just love to hear from you guys, kind of what your workflow is.
Scotty.
You guys mind if I go first?
Oh, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, man.
When I do like an interview video, I already have my set questions and everything like that. It's just setting up time to get the interview done on. After I do the interview, I automatically, when I'm done, I give myself about a half hour to rest, and then I edit the video because I want to get done over with. But I always posted videos on Mondays because I realized Mondays was my most. When I looked at my analytics of my videos, Mondays were my highest view days. So I always posted videos on Mondays. So I made sure if I did, say I did an interview with DM Info on a Friday, that following Monday with the video, I'll have it totally edited, done, and uploaded to YouTube, and set the timer on YouTube to upload it to the public on Monday. But I'll be on the server that same night after I edit it, because you can tell you can upload more than one video, have it in your queue list, and say times that it will upload to the public. So if you look at your analytics, you can still upload anytime you want, but not making public videos. And when you you can say, okay, my analytics say that Tuesdays are my major view days. So every Tuesday, I want this video, my new videos to upload every Tuesday at this time, and then that's when you're going to have your major views, and you're going to notice the video is going to get a spike up more when you look at your points. And also, when it comes to editing, a decent script works wonders. Even though I screwed up my coming back online when I did a video with DM Info, and I lost everything due to that 11-year-old erasing my script. I had to fly off the cuff, and I stink at doing that. So I just look at if you look at your analytics on YouTube and look at what days of the weeks are your highest viewpoints, that's when I recommend uploading a video to.
Ah, okay. Me, I, I don't really have any kind of flow. I have a project. I set the camera up. I start working on it. Oftentimes, I'll have multiple projects going at the same time. So, I'll do part of a project. I'll have the camera set up. I'll do part of a project. Put that aside. Do another project. So I may be shooting multiple projects at the same time, while one's drying, or gotta wait. I gotta wait for the glue to dry. Often the toilet paper. I love my toilet paper. I gotta wait for that to dry. So, yeah. So it's hard to have a flow with that kind of thing when you can't just sit down shoot. Or I may just say, oh, I want to show everybody my figures I painted for my game here. Here, I'll just put them on there and shoot it really quick, and then do a video, like a minute video or whatever. So yeah, I don't really have any kind of set way. I mean, it'd probably be good if I did, but it's kind of inspired. And then I have some bigger projects. Like I had the whole 2.5D Next, where I kind of did that all together, kind of thing. Yep. And I'm coming up with the 2.5D Next buildings. So. I'm going to do all that together, like show them like I did with the 2.5D Next, and then it'll flow into the next video. So I will do that all together. But yeah, a lot of it is just either something I need for my game, or I'm just inspired to do something. So yeah, that's kind of how it works for me.
Cool. I shoot basically a whole bunch of crafting all at once. So I'll sit down for 3 or 4 hours and just craft stuff. And film it the whole lot, and while I'm crafting, spray paint some, and then while there's a drying, craft the next thing, etc. So it's all shot out of order, and then I dump that onto my computer, and then I find time to edit it. And once it's edited, I then do the voiceover, and then I shoot the intro and outro. So that's when you see me doing the intro to the craft. Sometimes that could be like 3 or 4 months after I actually shot the crafting.
Same here, yeah.
You'll see my hairstyles change, and my beard length changes.
I've seen t-shirts change.
Now, yeah, what's your dry cleaning budget on that shirt, or do you just have like 60 of them?
I only have the one. It's starting to get holes in it, so and the holes aren't really noticeable on video at the moment, but they will be soon.
So maybe it will be that nude video we were just talking about eventually.
I just ran that T-shirt campaign, and I ordered because in Australia I take a 4XL. But an Australian 4XL.
You mean a gamer medium?
An Australian 4XL is not an American 4XL. And I received the shirt, and my business partner saw it. He goes, "Geez, what did you order? A tent?" And it's enormous. It's absolutely enormous.
We Americans like our burgers, you know.
4XL.
Hey.
So now I have to run it again, and this time I'll take a medium.
You have to run it again so you can get shirts that fit.
Sorry, I order like 3 just in case.
Since I'm a graphic artist at Trade, I got a question for you guys.
Yep.
What do you guys edit your videos in?
We did that earlier. We talked about that earlier.
Oh, I didn't say what I do.
Yeah, well, your audio. I
use Cyberlink Power Director.
Oh, that's cool. That's
is really for the money is a great program. I love it. I originally bought it at $50. $50, and it does some great stuff. Super easy to use, intuitive. I did upgrade it to the newer version, but I think it cost me $70 to do that. But yeah, if you're looking for a fairly cheap one, check out Cyberlink Power Director.
Cool.
Since I beta test different graphic software, there's I beta test mostly a lot for Corel, and The last one I tested was Crow Video Studio 8. It's $100 for their Pro version, which has the Pro version has a lot extras that you really don't need, but it's great if you're going to do stop motion and stuff like that because it has built-in stop motion and all that. And the original version that's not Pro has that too. But if you want the Pro version, you get extra plugins, like there's New Age plugins and all the stuff that comes with it. So if you're going to spend normally $69 for the regular version of it, it's $100 for the Pro. I say shell out the extra $30 and get the Pro because you get extra stuff.
Yeah, true.
It's
True.
One, it's easy to use. Has built-in screen capture software. Has built-in stop motion. Built-in audio
That's nice.
normalization. So say if you're doing live feed, it automatically sets it up that it can normalize all your audio in one stream from start to finish. It also takes, you know how we have the echo off and on, guys?
Yeah.
It takes that off.
It won't take it off live.
It won't take it off live, but if say if you're editing later on, because there's Skype recorders, which I have 2 of them. They record Skype audio. Well, I'm not recording you guys. Sure was. Because some of the stuff is funny.
I do wish my camera had an external mic though.
Yeah. That's probably the most important thing when you
The camera
I don't have a jack for that on my camera.
The camera I'm using right now for my computer is a 1080p camera I got for $24, and it's a Logitech. It was on sale at Target.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
I found
nice.
I went to Logitech's website for the same camera. It was $60. So it's like I got it for $24. So and I've had this for 2 years now, and it's still the best thing since sliced bread for me.
Also joining us now is Mini Terrain Domain. Jake from Mini Terrain Domain. How are you?
Hey, internets, it's Jake.
Hey, man.
Hey, Jake.
Hey. I was glad to hear that you guys were still going.
Yeah, how was your
Oh, yeah.
graduation?
Yeah, that went wonderful.
Good.
You know, you got to do that every year about this time of year.
Yep.
But yeah, we just got home a little bit ago, and I happened to jump on there and saw you guys are still going strong. You're what, halfway away from mine and Nathan's record?
Has it been that long already?
It was a month ago, I think. 6.5 hours.
Yeah, that was about a month ago. 6.5 hours.
No, that's,
I was in that room.
we're not pushing that. No.
I thought maybe this one would be one and done, and you guys would be out of here.
Since we got around the world here, what time is everybody in? What time zone?
Well, it's noon where I am.
It's 10 in Ohio.
It's 10 o'clock in Pennsylvania.
Oh yeah.
10
10
o'clock in
America.
Michigan.
Same time zone. Same time zone.
Central in
It is.
Minnesota.
It is 9 o'clock, Texas.
Oh man!
Well,
I was supposed
part
to
of
move to Texas. I was supposed to move to Texas.
And it's way past your bedtime in Europe.
Time to get up again.
That's
It's next day there.
Get up and start crafting.
right. So, if anyone has any questions for our panelists on Skype, type them in the comments below and you will appear on the toilet roll over here.
Wait, is there anybody watching that's not on Skype right now?
I'm not sure if there is.
No, well,
Talk about an echo chamber.
It says there are 12 watches and there are 7 people in Skype. So.
It's a very
Yeah, most of them are-
exclusive
most of them
group
are on
of 7
Skype.
out of 12 of us.
That's right. And yet we're all still typing in the chat room.
Gotta get a life.
Oh, man.
Gotta have those 2 layers of conversation.
I'll put a question out there. I know DM Scotty did a video about some like small fishing boats.
Oh, yeah.
I've noticed in the Facebook group here recently, there's been kind of an explosion of different pirate ships or larger sailing ships. Does anybody have any videos kind of to streamline that for the crafting impaired, make it a little bit easier?
Crafting impaired. I like that.
I've been meaning to make one. We have a lot on the forum too. A lot of people post ships on the forum. I've been meaning to make one, but I don't know. I just haven't gotten around to it. The closest I came to it was my Farland Isle crash ship video.
Yeah. It's one of those go-to things that everyone ends up crafting. It's like gelatinous cubes, ships, and dungeon tiles.
You know, it was
Don't forget
around
purple
the time
worms.
that,
Purple worms.
yeah, the purple worms. It was
Scotty,
around the
you
time
did those
I got on the
boats.
forum.
You're not a DM
Green
Scotty
slime.
initiate unless you haven't made a purple worm.
That's right. That's right.
What about green slimes?
And green slime.
Scotty, way back you did some sailboats, and probably like the first 10 or so episodes of your channel. That could still apply pretty well at just a larger scale, I would imagine too.
And that's what most people done now. Arthur's done a pretty cool ship that was like kind of a bigger version. A lot of some people do the full scale ship thing, which I prefer to stick more to the 2.5D. But yeah, it's so easy to do a 2.5D. Just shape it like a ship. Put the walls on it like you would a tile. Add a few details. You could even put sail on it. I wouldn't glue the sail to it like I kind of did with the other ships. I think I would, if I was going to make a bigger one, I would just make the sail just come right off. Like somehow it's put a magnet on there or something. Just make it so it could be flat. So you could store it easier.
Yeah, I regret not having removable sails.
Because that's what the whole 2.5D is about. I mean, it's storage. It's like it's for me. It's visual to see what's going on the table and storage. And
my idea for towns is not just to do a 2.5D version, but have collapsible 3D buildings for storage.
That's cool. Yeah, that's cool.
I actually think if you look on Kickstarter right now, there's actually a guy working on that as some sort of laminated cardboard that you just kind of pop up and put together. Somebody had posted one of the Facebook.
I have seen boxes too that you can fold up and put away. Those are kind of nice. But for me, you're still having that same problem of, okay, here's a big building. Yeah, okay. I either got to lift it up so I can see what's going on, and I'm going to have it on the table for a minute. So is it worth the effort? If you're doing a skirmish game and you're going on rooftops, yeah, it might be. But I think for the most part, yeah, the whole 3D thing is just you don't really need to do it. You don't. I mean, it's eye candy. AJ was talking about this cool, this papercraft building he made. It was really freaking cool. It was the Fat Dragon version, and it was great looking. But he said, yeah, I had it on the table. We could go up to it, and that was all we could do. We couldn't do anything else. We basically had to remove it off the table to go inside it. So yeah, that's I kind of when I think of stuff, I think that through as far as not just what it looks like, but economy at the table, like and playability.
Well, that's where I got.
So how cool can I get this to look with and make it still playable, and not just be on there for 5 seconds and I have to take it off?
Then I gotta plug Wylock again, where he's taken into account with gridded tiles how the walls work, so that if you have old school dungeon maps that are on a grid, where each square is 10 feet and you've got the lines there, how you can perfectly convert those maps into gridded tiles. So that's all about playability, and it's exactly what you're saying. If you're going to craft something, one thing is, yes, it's going to look fantastic, but can you actually play with it?
Right. I always think about that when I make stuff.
Yeah.
That's at the forefront of my mind.
Yeah.
Storage and look good as well as storage as well as playability. So when you're doing.
If I could just chime in, you're talking about towns. Something I have for a future video is how I do it is basically. Has anyone not played Baldur's Gate?
Come on.
So Kind of emulate.
Who do you think you're talking to?
What's going on here? A bunch of older
So
guys
basically, I've got-
that do role playing and war games. Come on. I can play role-playing.
Yeah. So I'll make like storefronts. It's just a 4-inch by 6-inch piece of cardboard with a stand glued on the bottom so that it stands up, and I can make a street by putting buildings on each side. Then if you want to have a street encounter, you can. You'll see this in my next video a little bit, but and then if they want to go in a building, it's just sort of a zoom in. Then I've got tiles for the interior. So when they're outside, the buildings are not to scale at all, but I've found it doesn't really matter.
No, not really. No, it's just kind of a reference to see where you're at. Anyway.
Yeah, for town play, yeah.
Yeah.
To me, a town is like a dungeon. The buildings are the rooms, and the streets are the corridors. And that's basically how you should lay them out.
Yeah.
My next video is on negative space, so the space between the tiles, because I like compact dungeons rather than these long, sprawling, go nowhere corridors. And that's important because that's how towns and cities are. It's just this whole collection of buildings with streets around.
Because they're trying to conserve space, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Especially medieval towns.
Absolutely. And because you've got to build a wall around it so the enemy doesn't come and kill you.
Right. You're not going to make a giant highway in the middle of the town. You got to build a wall around.
I like DM Sky's index card for the dungeons dungeons.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I've used it. It's a pretty cool system, actually.
And that with those index cards, you could do the same thing with town.
Yes, you could. Totally. Exactly.
They used that in the latest, the last Penny Arcade Acquisitions Incorporated game. At PAX, they used one of those, a similar method with the rearranging. They used full-size sheets of paper, but it just had the room description on it.
Yeah, because they were rotating the rooms.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
But I think Scotty's method, your method is more compact. And more portable and more, especially if you have a whole deck of index cards, you can theoretically rearrange a dungeon on the fly.
Oh, totally. Yeah, I've done like spaceship interiors. I played a game of Ravenloft with it. So, at Halloween. So.
Ooh, a Halloween Ravenloft run?
Uh-huh.
Nice.
They killed him. They killed Strahd.
I'm busy
Hey, Scotty,
I've nearly finished my next PDF, which is these dungeon cards, so that you can basically lay out rooms, and it tells you can roll up what's in the rooms and that kind of stuff. So that hopefully will be in my store soon.
That's cool.
And so you'll be able to print out this card and use the little plastic sleeves that you get for Magic the Gathering. You get like 100 for $4 on eBay. So you get one of those, you just print these out and stick them in, and you can randomly generate, or just use them to lay out dungeons as well. Similar to what you did with the cards, with the card stuff.
I just left them blank so I could just write on whatever the card was.
Yeah.
I mean, you could put what the room is if you were pre-doing it. You could put what the room is right in there and have it all ready to go, or you could do what I did, just write on it.
Shuffle up and deal.
Yeah.
The coolest thing I've seen that was a gimmick thing for dungeons was a thing called Dungeon Dice. I saw it at one convention I was at, and it was 5 dice that had 6 sides. Each was different dungeons that you could roll a dungeon every time.
Yeah,
and it had over. I want to get a set, but at the time, I just ran out of cash.
I think Matt.
That's the age-old problem.
Matt Click at A Fistful of Dice YouTube channel. I think he did a review on Dungeon Dice.
Yeah.
So if you want to kind of see him in action.
Oh, right. That's right. I think I did see that. Yeah.
Well, I saw they had a convention here at. It was the first time ever in the Poconos that my old alma mater, my East West University, the first college I went to. Yeah, I've been to more than one college. They had like paintball conventions, rifle conventions like that. No comic conventions and no role playing conventions. Just recently, they had a role playing / comic convention. I had to go. And I'm like, oh, the ticket's gonna cost like $30-$40. I show up, they're free.
Oh,
it's free entrance. I was like,
wow, that's nice.
What? I asked. I had to ask. The reason why it was free, they were not allowing filming. You couldn't bring your phone had to be turned off. They allowed no filming of any sort in the building unless it was them filming, and no phones whatsoever. That's the only reason. I'm like, if they allowed people to film this convention, they would have a lot more. It would be a lot better.
Yeah, it's one of those.
Well, how do they keep people's phones from them? You have to take it back out to your car or something?
No, they put you know how the there's cell phone blockers. It's a little device.
Okay, I see.
They even told you when you walked into the building, there's a blocker and it turns off the cell phone. You can't even go out. You have to walk out the building and make a phone call. The only thing you can make is a 911 call on your phone. That was it.
So are any of you guys going to Gen Con this year?
I'm trying.
I would love to go to Gen Con just once.
When is Gen Con? Is it in August?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm there in September, so I miss it by like a month.
Oh, right.
You have to.
Yeah, I'll probably do like a day.
You have to stop by Poconos.
I've got to stop by half of America.
All my friends are like going for the weekend. I'm going
My
to do like a day.
honeymoon is driving through the southern states of America. So if you're in the southern states of America, I may drive through your town for all of like 10 minutes.
Success.
Are you coming to Dayton?
We're definitely going to see Sean in Texas.
You get married in Vegas, right?
Yeah, I'm getting married in Vegas. I'm not going to say where, and I'm not going to say when.
Go ahead.
The chapel only holds 15 people, but we have 18 already.
I'll make a little cardboard church, and I'll have Roderick officiate.
You should do that. Make a digital wedding for Team
Well, they said for an extra $10 we could stream it live on the internet. Like,
Tonight on a very special Crafters Tavern.
How to get hit.
Hey, my dad's ordained.
Is he?
Yeah, he
is.
Ordained. He married me.
Oh, that's awesome.
You mean?
Yeah.
Didn't you say he married you?
Yeah.
That's legal.
It's legal. It's legal.
That's legal in a few states here.
See, here in the first world.
Hey,
I'm also ordained.
He's a mail order ordained.
So does
Universal Church.
Who's not ordained?
Hey, me and my wife were talking about having a Walmart renewal wedding.
Well, it's when everyone says, "Oh, I don't have anything
We
to
are.
buy you,"
I'm going to be wearing overalls and having a big giant jug, the whole 9 yards. We've been together for 17 years. We've been married for 7 of them. And we got married by the justice of peace. So her father never really gave her away and stuff. So we're going to have that kind of wedding at our church. And for our friends, we're going to have this gimmick thing at Walmart. I already talked to the Walmart manager and everything, and he wants us to do it in a heartbeat. He's willing to give us stuff for free, just so we can do it.
That's fun.
Just keep getting married over and over and over.
He's like, "Oh, I want." He goes, "I'll get you. We'll give you coupons so you can get the clothes and everything, and we'll find you a milk jug and everything." what? They were so happy. I'm like, wow, I didn't know people really want to get married in a Walmart, for God's sake. I was just joking. And ended up becoming a thing. So hopefully, mostly by next year sometime, you're going to be seeing me, seeing a video of, on my channel, of me getting remarried to my wife at a Walmart.
You heard it here first.
You gotta have fun in life. Come on, we're all gamers and crafters and makers. If you can't have fun, we'll all just get old and wrinkly and just go. And back in my day, no, I'm not ever gonna be that man.
Just good.
Hey, I'm about getting to that age, and I'm going to start saying that. My day.
I'm just
We don't have
imagining.
these newfangled things.
I'm imagining one of the lines at the Walmart vow renewal is, "Sweetie, some girls wanted a guy to settle down with, but I'm the guy you could settle for."
Come on, guys.
Clean up in aisle 5. Clean up in aisle 5.
I guess with this whole situation, that kind of makes self-checkout the most depressing part of Walmart.
You want full
Assistance
service
to aisle
checkout
3.
and get married.
Please wait for assistance. Please wait for assistance. Damn it! The thing always locks up on me.
This store
Well,
is
I
closing
buy-
in 30 minutes.
When I buy my spray paint, they have to come and
here 24/7. So you can't worry
accept
about
it
that.
because it's make sure I'm 18 because it's paint spray paint.
Well, at the recycle zone, they're giving it away for free.
I got something to make every person here happy. If you're having a very bad day, just go to a Walmart, stand there, and look at the people walking in and out for 1 hour. You'll feel 10 times better about yourself.
So
That's kind of like.
So, on that note, if you actually go and talk to some Walmart associates, a lot of them have Walmart bingo cards that they play during their shift. And it's exactly what you think it is.
I know I probably filled out a couple of those bingo cards.
Well,
I'm not above walking in the Walmart in my flip-flops and
oh yeah,
short shorts.
Oh no! Okay. I have very bad knees because of surgeries, and my wife has a broken back, so we have to use those carts once in a while.
Y'all piss me off using those cards.
No. I'm going to tell you something. You guys are going to all crack up laughing. You're going to fall out of your chairs when I tell you this. My chair I got yesterday didn't go forward.
So you went reverse through Wally World?
No, when it first was working, halfway through the Walmart, for some reason the motor decided to automatically just stay in reverse. For 5 minutes, I'm shooting backwards. It wouldn't stop. I had to jump off the machine to let it hit a pile of toilet paper to have it stop.
Toilet paper, you say?
Saying, did you salvage that?
Crafting material.
I would have stayed on, try and get injured, and then have a great Walmart lawsuit.
No, I had. The first part is that the manager thought I was joking around and playing around on the machine.
Hey,
so I said, "Sir,"
well, your name is Demon Jester.
So in the process, I said, "You get on the thing." The guy sits on the machine. Instead of going forward, it shoots him back, and he ends up hitting a whole display of Avion water, and it spills on top of him.
Ah.
Now,
And again, more crafting
At least he was
supplies.
stylish when he crashed.
I'm one of those guys that when I get nervous, I really laugh. I'm sorry, I was laughing so hard, I almost pissed my pants. He looks at me and goes, "I'm sorry, sir. You were not joking around on the machine. Today's, you're not paying for what's in your cart."
Hey, DMG, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Are you going to do some more mini magic soon?
Yes, absolutely.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm waiting on that.
Yeah, that's basically I'm trying to build up the techniques. So you'll go into things like clothing and that kind of stuff before I go into specific monsters. So it starts pretty much with humanoids.
So it's kind of going to build on each other, right?
Yeah. And so how you can create humanoids, and then once you've done humanoids, I mean, obviously goblinoids and everything you can do the same way. But then, then I'll basically work through the monster manual. Because there's like 500 there.
Because people are always asking, I want to make minis, And so, yeah, that's a great technique.
I loved the skulls. I mean, that quick mini thing you did with the skulls, and you said right in there, you're going to kick yourself for not thinking of this. I was sitting at work watching that, and when you brought out that straw, I was like, oh, come on.
Why did I think of that?
And I got to tell you, Scotty, when I started watching your videos and I started following the DMG shortly after that, probably 10 times a day as I was going through all your backlog, I would go, man, why didn't I think of this? And now that my camera's working, I know the Crafters Tavern audience can't see it. Of course, there we go.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
nice.
my goodness. That was one.
I was saying you're not an official DM. You're not an official DM's Craft Initiate unless you've done the purple worm.
That was my very first one, and I even recently modified the base to incorporate some more flocking. But
nice.
I haven't. I said on the last Crafters Tavern with DMG, I didn't use it in a game yet, but at one of my recent games, I set it on the table next to my DM screen and just freaked the players out for the whole game.
I think I remember you mentioning that.
Yeah. You should have seen the look on their faces. They're like, what is that? And I'm like, just wait. Just wait. And it never came. Talk about you keep them on their toes.
I'm gonna have to put a dragon or something sitting by the table and
just set something really big.
Yeah, something
next to the screen where they can see it. Yep.
Can I ask a normal question? Yeah. Has anybody used any Hasbro toys in their gaming?
Oh yes, absolutely.
Well, if you use a Wizards of the Coast product, it's a Hasbro toy technically. So.
I usually buy junkier toys at the dollar store and either break them up or, cannibalize them.
I used a Mr. Potato Head as the Great Unclean one in 40k.
Oh, that's awesome!
I didn't paint him though.
Oh.
Just straight up. Here you go.
Did you just stick various things on?
A friend of mine converted a Mr. Potato Head cloth. They converted a Mr. Potato Head to be a orc stomper.
Cool.
It was like he put the plates on and airbrushed it and had like the gun in a hat and everything. It was like,
that's awesome.
I scratch build stuff all the time, and I would never think about making an orc stomper out of a Mr. Potato Head. I'm sorry.
Orc stompers are pretty.
But for me, the pinnacle of using Hasbro toys was I used a Castle Grayskull as my dungeon.
Cool.
Nice.
The funny thing was, it wasn't my Castle Grayskull when I was growing up as a kid. It was my younger brother's. And I was having.
Did you paint it up?
No, I just left it be. I left it be. I just put it on the table. And I put it on the table. I went, this is where I want like this one. This is where we're gonna be fighting. The guy goes, "How big are our characters?"
And Skeletor shows up.
I see Zach's joined us as well, Jay.
Yeah, if you look on my camera over my shoulder, that's his screen. You can see.
Okay.
Pretty much the same thing as last time. He's about a minute behind us.
What's he watching?
Yeah.
He has to come up and show himself.
He's watching the Crafters Tavern.
Come on.
Yeah,
come in.
They want you to come in here and show yourself. They want you to prove that you're real.
I exist.
He says, "I exist." This is my that's my mini me, training them up in the ways of D&D.
Awesome.
We just played through the Cragmaw hideout in the starter set yesterday.
Oh, awesome!
Yeah,
we had fun with that too. We had fun with that.
Having a father who plays D&D is probably one of the greatest things you could possibly have as a kid. Cherish it.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. He has to wait a minute.
My daughter is still playing, so yeah.
I got one better than that.
She's
That's an
still
uncle
playing,
that makes the figurines. My Uncle Carmel was the original crafter for the very first model sets for Dungeons and Dragons. That was my first job ever. My first job was making skeletons and skulls for a job. As I made minis for my very first job as a kid.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That is.
I was 12. I was 12 years old, and he's like, they asked how old I was because they kept on seeing my sculpts and everything. They asked him how old I was. He goes, he's 12. You know he can't work for us. He has permission from his mother and his family. My mom says, let the kid work. Get him out of the house.
Leave him alone.
I would make what was really messed up is that I would be able to sculpt 26 skulls in 3 hours, while a professional sculptor was able to do the same thing for 2.
Wow.
And he only made 2 skulls. I had 26 skulls.
Hey, well, using my method, you can make 26 skulls in like 5 minutes.
I collect skulls, so I had at one point before the fire that I lost everything, I had over 3,622 different types of skulls.
Wow, that's a lot of skulls. I gotta respect that.
And they were all different sculpts from different sculptors. I had 14 sugar skulls, professionally made sugar skulls from Mexico. And then I had my pinnacle of collecting skulls was I ordered a skull online, a theater group in New York City, thinking, I'm gonna get a plastic skull that was in Hamlet, because that's what it said. It said skull from Hamlet, theater group. I get shipped to me a human skull, real human skull, with placard saying it was such and such actor that passed away and donated his head to the theater group.
What?
Imagine
the show must go on.
No, what happened was the
not a good time to lose one's head. You'll never be the head of a large corporation.
I knew someone
real head case.
That's how to get ahead in acting.
Now, what the pamphlet said was that the actor had no other next kin except for the actor group, and he was supposed to play in Hamlet before he passed away. So his goal was, so what he did was he legally donated his head and got fixed and set up that it was cleaned and all that for the theater group. And they used his head on stage for 4 years.
Wow,
for
that's
Hamlet.
awesome.
And so when they shut down when the theater group was shutting down, they needed to sell these props to get money. And I won it, but I thought I was going to get a plastic skull. I didn't think I was going to get a human skull. So when I had a massive fire and I lost everything, people asked me what happened to the skull. My U-Haul caught on fire with 4 air compressors and 37 cans of spray paint. I don't think.
That's not a good combination.
Oh, it gets worse.
Don't try that.
They find the skull and think you blew up. His head blew up.
When the skull was destroyed, I think his soul finally could rest at peace.
Everything went through his head.
No, when I lost my stuff,
He's like, finally away from these bad actors.
Why not? What's your channel up
when I lost stuff in the fire, people asked me how much stuff I lost. I lost two 2 pressers, 13 air brushes from a Posh all the way up to Badger.
Wow.
I already said this. I said all. I had over. I don't know how much kind of paint. I had every paint from me. From Games Workshop at the time. I had everything from Vallejo. I even had stuff from other companies that were off the like. Oh, that's a cool color type deal. You know.
Mm-hmm.
I lost all that. What really hurt was my armies for Warhammer.
Oh,
what I really
yeah.
lost. 3,000 point Necron army.
Oh!
6,000 point Orc army.
That's a lot of cash right there.
Yeah, that's
Not
like
counting
burning piles of money.
Not counting my 5,000 point Smurfs, the Marines. And not counting all 37 Dragons.
Oh no.
The originals.
Wow. I'll tell you what, I think Games Workshop is on crack because their miniatures are insane expensive. They've always been expensive, but now they are just nuts. I mean,
they gone too crazy.
Do people buy these?
Well, it's almost like they have a monopoly, so that's why they can pretty much charge what they charge.
Well,
that's why people like us make our own.
That's right.
Right.
Well, the thing is, with Games Workshop, the problem is when Games Workshop first opened up, they made their box game, which was it was not sold on Black Reach, was it? I think it was sold on Black.
They still do that, but then you got to buy all the other stuff.
That's the game that made popular. But what happened was before they did that, they were selling single individual figurines, and they need to contact banks and all that. Did you know Games Workshop has not one loan with one bank? They have 26 loans with 27 banks.
Mm-mm.
How can you have 26 loans with 7 banks?
One bank. No, one bank owns the original lot that Games Workshop was on.
Oh, okay.
With that big whole corporation, that big super, I think it's called, it's the main headquarters. One bank owns that. They don't own their lot that the bank's on. The property's on.
They really started making their money when they got the license for Lord of the Rings. So I mean they only they didn't have as many stores as they do now until Lord of the Rings came out.
Oh yeah.
Really propelled them into the market.
And they're
Tolkien's family's happy as a pig in dirt because of that. That's all you have to say.
They are a publicly traded company now, which is why a lot of their prices went up.
Yeah.
Because stockholders need to get paid.
They got to get paid.
We can't just
and
make
kind of
piles
also,
of
if you look
Twitter.
at the bottom line with the stockholders, they say that the stockholders' shares get paid instead of the typical shareholder get paid 4%. Games Workshop gives them 5 to 6% per dollar.
I mean,
so they give more.
I personally have no problem with Games Workshop. I like their games. I like their products in terms of quality. Yes, they are pricey, but if you want to play their games, you're going to pay the money.
Exactly. The only reason why I didn't start playing Warhammer again is because of one reason. It's not because of the price, because I don't have anybody to play against.
Well, that would be.
That's why they had so many stores. Is because that once you create a place where people can go and play,
right.
Give me my plastic
fixes game in an area.
Right.
But I'm trying to get War Machine and Hordes here in the Poconos because I started liking that game. Because anywhere you can spend $50 you spend $100 for one starter set, and it's for 2 players. You get a rule book, 2 armies to
play. I saw that. That's pretty neat. Yeah.
War Machine and Hordes, and the cool thing is, it's like playing chess on acid, because if you kill one head honcho, say if you got a sniper, and you kill the head honcho of the game, the game's over. That's it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Game's over. The head honcho that runs everybody is gone. That's no more game. Over. Done.
So it's like the king. It's like the king. How you kill him and it's over.
Yeah, exactly. I played War Machine Horde as a demo game and when I lived in Orlando, and just playing the demo game, I fell in love with it. And the owner's like, "Oh, you gonna buy the box set?" I'm like, "No, I'm not gonna buy the box set today because my wife will kick my ass." I said it just like that. He giggled. He thought it was funny. He's like, "No, you let your wife control your money." I'm like, "No, she controls the money. It's her money." I just go, "Here's my wallet, hon. It's yours."
I think my wife knows when I go to Gen Con, I'm going to spend money.
If I go to a convention or something like that, my wife goes to a CVS or Walgreens or even Walmart, buys a prepaid credit card, and goes, "Honey, this is what you got for buy your figurines and paints and stuff, and this is for food."
I got
and
your
she gives me
credit
2
on
cards. It's not that I'm on a leash. I can't drop.
Not you.
So
credit.
What does it say about me?
Your credit's on a leash, hence you're on a leash.
I'm not just on a leash. I'm totally. It's like this. But hey.
Well,
I'm kind of lucky. I have some local game stores that sell. Well, they sell Games Workshop figures. But they buy stuff back and then they put it in a bin where you can, buy it. People have either painted it horribly or put it together, partially put together, and they'll sell it back, and you can buy it for like a fraction of the cost. You'd buy a set of figures. So that's where I get all my Games Workshop figures.
In the last 6-hour epic tavern, we did actually stumble upon a thing where we were talking about professional dungeon masters, and I've been thinking about it a lot. Where you you actually sell your services as a dungeon master, so people hire you to come and DM a game in their house with like 4 or 5 people, and you charge them like $20 to $30 each.
Right.
And then you run. So you bring the figures, and you bring the terrain, and you bring the story and everything, and then they pay to play. And that is actually a really, really cool idea.
That is a neat idea because people are always looking for GMs.
And
much better work than I
form of welcome.
And so I thought, well, what you do, then the way to start it is just create a website where you say, we're looking for people who want to be professional DMs, who have all their own miniatures and, who have modules and stuff, and they're willing to go out and then, they can say, well, this is my price, I'm $20 an hour or $20 per person or whatever,
That's interesting.
You get the platinum package, you get GM Scotty.
That's right.
You get the pewter package, you get MTD.
No, I'm sure that's not true.
I'm trying to start
but I do have luscious hair.
That gives you street cred.
On that note, I'm trying to start up.
There's lots of people
Has
doing
anybody
online
been a digital DM?
Yeah, look, I mean, there's lots of people who do like online games and things, but you can't really, that doesn't really emulate the experience of sitting around a table playing. The game is designed for that. And
I mean, it's okay, but yeah, sitting around the table is kind of the pinnacle of it.
It's like movies. Going and seeing a movie in the cinema is not the same as watching it on a 60-inch television. It's not the same.
Well,
right.
I just played in a 6-hour game on Saturday. We have a party of it's one that I play in. A buddy of mine DMs, and we're doing kind of a homebrew thing, but it's 5th edition, and we have a party of 7 of us, and we have an absolute blast when we're all there. And we've run digital games before when we couldn't get everybody together, and the comment was actually made this past Saturday. We not only do we have a better time when we're sitting around the table and you can kind of riff off of each other in person, and you don't have to deal with that the buffer and the lag and all that stuff. But we found that we're a lot funnier when we're in person.
Yeah.
And
that's interesting.
Not only that,
I think that's true. Right.
Yeah, because you're not dealing with the separation of this computer screen, you're able to instantly react to not only what they're saying, but the body language, and there's physical comedy in there and things like that. And that's a major part of any D&D experience, no matter how serious the game or whatever it is the interaction with the players around the table, like you said. And not to mention the fact that we had a nonstop parade of food for 6 hours. You don't get that in a digital game.
Domino's.
Yeah, my games are right next to the kitchen.
On gamer snacks. How to make gamer snacks for games.
Yeah.
Go to my kitchen, teach people how to make good tortillas and good wraps for games that doesn't mess up the boards.
Stuff that lasts more than 2 minutes.
Yeah, you say that, but I actually Googled RPG game night snacks because I wanted to try to find something other than the usual standbys. And you know what the number one things on the boards are? Cheetos, Mountain Dew, Doritos,
and Mountain Dew.
Right.
At our game, we had a guy that brought in. He called them buffalo turds. But they're jalapenos stuffed with cream cheese and smoked sausage and wrapped in bacon.
Wow!
That is a D&D treat. And I'll tell you what. And I'll tell you though, DMG, they did not last more than 2 minutes.
Did he get extra experience or action points or anything?
No, we actually
inspiration.
Here's
an inspiration for you.
And you know what was funny? Another thing that was funny was somebody took a picture and posted it on Facebook on one of our pages. But somebody brought, to counteract that kind of food, they brought a plate of veggies. And one of the guys said, I'm going to say something that I don't think has ever been said at a D&D game in the history of man. There are crudités over on the table saw. That was a good time. It was a good time.
One of my players is not vegetarian. What's the vegan? And, but when the milk chocolate comes out, all of a sudden he's not vegan.
And piggybacking off of what I think Jake is it that about being present at the table. You have a lot less distractions if you run the virtual tabletop. You've always got that one guy. He's got Facebook and Reddit and just all these other things, and he's really not there. Whereas at the table, you can kind of mitigate that a little bit. So you don't have one guy. It's like, okay, what do you do during your combat? And he's like, hold on, let me look.
What's happening?
Yeah, exactly. You don't have that guy.
Especially when you've got like 6 or 7 players, then it just gets unruly. Because then half the time not paying any attention.
Right. It's hard to run a game with 7 players. It really is.
Yeah.
It works. I was actually dubious about it when we started doing it. And it works surprisingly well. And I think we just got really lucky with our group dynamic. And we were initially 6, and then my son Zach, who you met a little bit ago, we introduced him. And I got to give credit to that group of guys that they're very welcoming of him, because we're all, I'm probably the oldest at 42, and the other guys are in their 20s and 30s and early 40s. And here comes this 14-year-old kid. And he fits right in. He gets along with the guys. They enjoy having him there, and he comes up with some of the crazier plans and crazier things to do during the game sometimes.
Yeah, my daughter's like that too. She comes up with some crazy stuff.
Well,
he's the one that his goal was to become a werebore. I think we're only 3 days away from the full moon, and we see what happens. But then again, I'm playing a Minotaur bard, so.
I had a player that was cursed with lycanthropy, and he kept trying to get rid of it, and he kept screwing up. He couldn't get rid of it, and when he finally did have a chance to get rid of it, he screwed that up, and he ended up he got a mutation and got gills, so he was a water breathing werewolf.
Oh, no.
Wow.
He never did get rid of it.
I thought my 7-foot Star Wars bunny that acted like Jar Jar Binks was bad. And it was not even my character. For that Star Wars game, I was a Jedi that was technically cyborg but out that forgot he was a cyborg, so he thought he was just a robot.
I had a player that I basically gave him this mystery disease, and he would wait. His character would, you go back to town and they go to the shops and whatever, and then I would say, okay, well your character now randomly wakes up somewhere, and he's like covered in goo or blood or whatever, and now he's got to figure out what the hell has happened. So it's like the Hangover. He's got to try and retrace his steps to get back to the party, and it was always the funniest people because everyone would sit back because they just couldn't wait for the next time they were in town. This guy's disease was going to kick in. They wanted to see what was going to happen.
It's always fun when players get some kind of curse or something like that you can mess with them.
The character, Jar Jar Binks, the character destroyed Star Wars.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think we all do, unfortunately.
This is so sorry.
I was playing a Star Wars. I was role-playing guy. I was DM for a Star Wars-based game, and this guy creates this 7-foot tall bunny that acts like Jar Jar Binks. And my goal was to kill him off because I didn't like Jar Jar Binks. So I was going to try to kill this guy. He had such lucky rolls. Ooh, shiny penny. Ricochet a bolt shot off the penny and killed a stormtrooper. This is how lucky this guy was. And he decided, I have all this luck. I'm gonna play it off. We tried to kill him. Even his own companions tried to kill him more times than once, and he didn't die. Normally, if you throw someone out an airlock, they die, right? Not him. He ends up hitting a ship with its airlock open and flies into it because of the lucky roll.
That's awesome.
So I don't know if anybody had a person like this during their role playing games, a guy that you just couldn't kill. Has anybody had that? Because I know I have one, and I've been trying to kill him for 2 years now.
I had a guy in the game who. Yeah, just was a similar type. I mean, he wasn't annoying to the party, but the party wasn't trying to kill him, but he just had some damn lucky rolls as far as he was in some bad situations and just got some really lucky rolls and just made it out miraculously. He got buried alive and survived it, and yeah.
In my campaign that ran for 10 years, there was this character that kept reoccurring. But it was different characters every time they were playing, and it was hundreds of years in different time slots back and forth, and they keep bumping into the same guy. And like, who is this guy? Why is this guy still in this world? Obviously it turns out that he's immortal and he's lived as long as the world's been in existence, but he's just like a real prick. It's like you really, really just want to mess with.
You probably would be if you lived that long.
Yeah.
And DMG, going back to just a little advertisement for you, if you haven't read through his Under the Tavern, I would hate to have you as a DM, man. You are brutal. Like every other page is like, if they fail this roll, then they're never seen again, and they're just dead. Like first level characters, killing them off like they're goblins. Nothing.
Oh, absolutely, that's the way you got to do it. Because
I know it's funny.
It's a huge thing.
It's funny. My players think I'm the worst. I'm the meanest DM ever. I am so nice. They have no idea. If I do anything to them, I'm like, you guys have no idea.
I haven't killed anybody yet.
I rarely kill anybody.
For the next installment, Deeper Under the Tavern, there's like another 3 levels, right? Which is referred to in the PDF. But all the people who've fallen down are zombies on the lower levels.
way to really tie it all together, man.
That's right.
Hey everybody, if you haven't got the PDF yet, make sure you buy it. It's only 99 cents. PDF, Under the Tavern. If you don't know about it, now you do. Make sure you get it. So little plug
And if you
there.
want to check it out before, you can watch the entire
It's awesome.
series on my
It's
channel.
awesome. Yeah,
Even
awesome.
just
Oh yeah,
even
right.
just
There's
for the
videos on it. Yeah, if you haven't seen it, I guess you're not part of the crafting community. But yeah, buy it. I mean, come on.
Do it!
It's awesome. It is awesome.
There's even a printed version, and there's soon to be a DVD version too.
Cool.
Well, and since we're on the topic of
Sorry, Wylock.
DMing, is Wylock here?
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm here, but that wasn't me.
Oh, sorry.
How many subscribers are you up to?
Oh, let's see. 85.
Oh,
awesome!
More to go.
Only 5
people watching. There's got to be 5 people there that aren't subscribed to Wylock's channel. Wylock, you've got to comment so that they can see it in the thing and click on your name.
Yeah, throw a comment up there. I might be. I randomly subscribe.
He's gonna post a link.
That's him typing.
But since we are on the topic of DMing and things of that nature, I typically am a player, and when I typically play with the same group of guys, maybe 2 different groups. It seems that as the players, we always seem to fall into the same roles in the party. You have your leader type, your sneaky type, your utility type, things of that nature. Is there any way you guys have found to kind of push players out of their comfort zone? You know, your sneaky player may not always play a rogue. He may play a ranger or a ranged fighter, but it's always pretty much the same character. Is there a way to kind of get them out of their comfort shell?
I have no way.
I typically change the environment to make the challenge. I mean, if people like playing rogues, then let them play rogues. And
right, exactly.
Just the environment for them. You know, the story can remain the same regardless of who's playing. Yes, of course. You know, sometimes it can get boring when it's always a rogue and a fighter and a wizard and a cleric. You know, yes, that combination can get quite boring over a long period of time. But I think the way to alleviate that boredom is to get the players to think about other skills in their levels, that they'll start thinking, well, this is great playing this way, and you need to kind of throw the terrain and narrative sort of things in their way that kind of almost railroad or force them into using skills like that. And yeah, that's probably the best way to do it, other than to force them to make characters that aren't the top 4.
You can throw them out of their comfort zone, like DMG said. You can throw them out of their comfort zone.
Yeah.
So if they're used to something, change it up.
Then
they'll have to play their characters differently.
One technique that I've been using lately is I love, especially under 5th edition, I love just generating characters. I like some of the alt methods that are out there, and one of the steps that I do when I create my character is I'm very conscious about the decisions I'm making. If I'm creating a cleric of light, I'm thinking of why is he a cleric of light, and all of the things that go into that, and then I create within the box that's on the back of the character details on the character sheet, I'll write up his background. And I have a dozen or so of these characters on hand, and if a player is like coming up to a table new, or they're interested in playing something different, before they look at what the character is, I have them read that backstory and see, is this a character that you want to play? Then look at the mechanics of it. I'm big as a storyteller. That's my favorite thing about D&D is the cooperative storytelling nature of the game that we're playing, and the mechanics are second to that. That's why I've never pushed for party balance. I think, people ask me, well, do we have a wizard? I can play a wizard if we need one. And I tell them every time, play what you want to play. It's my job as the DM to mitigate, where you don't have certain resources. I'm running the starter set for my son. He's playing, it's just 2 of us. And he is playing an Aarakocra fighter. And he asked, can I bring my son along? So his son is an NPC that he's playing, and I told him the condition was when he reaches 3rd level, then his son can become a 1st level fighter. So he's essentially playing 2 characters. But he's playing them wonderfully, and because they're father and son, it kind of balances the whole, he knows everything about what both characters are going to do. But it's my job as the DM to balance out those encounters and to provide for the fact that he doesn't have a tank. He's not the tank yet because he's still a bird.
Right.
He doesn't have the cleric. He doesn't have those healing powers. He doesn't have those, the spell sniper or any of that stuff. So I find ways to balance it out. I may rotate in a handful of those types of characters as a revolving door of NPCs, which I may pull from my pool of characters that I've created. But I always encourage my players, even if they're veterans, play what you want to play and develop your story.
Well, in my
That's
group,
a great way to look at it.
In my group,
Absolutely.
the guys like flip-flopping left and right, and different characters they play. So once every couple of months, I'll say, you're playing that guy's character, and we flip it up. We switch each other's characters.
Oh, that's interesting.
So say that I was playing a wizard for the whole game, and this one day, the guy that's playing the archer, he's now the wizard, and now I'm the archer.
Oh,
So we
interesting.
change up. It's only one. We only do that one. I usually call it rainy day when it's like really bad outside, like thundering storms, and you really don't want to go home. You want to keep the game going, so we switch it up by doing that. So just to keep it alive.
I have a different approach because the one thing I don't like in D&D, and I've changed it for my system, is that you do not come up with a character background. Because my opinion is, when you go to a movie or you read a book, you don't receive a character history about the character you're about to read about. You start on the front page and the character is revealed to you as you read or as you watch. So I actually prefer that method of character building where in 7D systems, the way you start is you start with a blank character sheet, which is essentially like level 0. And as you play, your character builds skill levels in the different things that you're doing. So that's how you actually build your character. The character development and the character and rolling up your character essentially happens in the game. So because the problem is a lot of people put a lot of time and effort into doing character backgrounds and all that kind of thing, and then they stray from it, or the DM hasn't read it properly, or some people put in 5 pages of notes and someone will put in 5 words. So
right.
Different people.
That's a big problem with it.
Yeah, people come in at different levels of effort that they put into it. So my whole thing is, if you're going to have a background, 25 words or less, who is this person, just so we have an idea. And there's no classes in 7D system, it's all archetypes. So you'd have an archetype would be, like a nefarious person, or a healer is someone who helps people. Doesn't mean they have healing skills, it just means that that's the type of person they are. They like to help people, and they like to, comfort people, etc., etc., and that's the healer archetype. Then you've got the soldier archetype, who's always standing for a cause, who enjoys combat, etc., and that's his archetype. So that's, if you play that way, you get bonuses in playing that way. So there's, and then when you play the game, you start to reveal, and then you're not locked into a predefined character background. So at any point in the game, you go, well, my sister, and you'd never, up until this point, you've never had a sister, but now you've created one. You can basically create your history on the fly and make the game a lot more interesting while you're playing the game, rather than having to be set to something that's very specific that shouldn't really change when you're playing. So that's what I've tried to do, and one of the things, that's why I don't like character backgrounds in D&D.
I think one thing that I think is kind of a can be a balance between what you've described, going in with a blank slate, and what I described with the kind of a fleshed out albeit like a 100, 200 word background. With 5th edition, is you can rely on those personality traits,
I really
bonds
like
and flaws, and flaws was something I've always played back in the day when I used to play 2nd edition and Star Wars and things like that. I love the challenge of creating. I had a psionic in 2nd edition AD&D that I made it so that he just abhorred magic, so he refused to use magic items, and it made for some interesting interactions between our party's necromancer and I. And then in Star Wars, I played essentially a Han Solo clone because who doesn't? But I made it so that his for some reason I just threw it out there. I'm like, yeah, and he hates Twi'leks. So the first mission the GM gave us was a Twi'lek was running from a mob boss, and we had to escort her off planet. So it created a really unique role-playing opportunities for me to try to, stick to that flaw that I created. And under this new system, you have these built-in ones that over time players can, kind of figure out how those work and can develop their own. And you can kind of hold them to that. And then, the inspiration system was kind of built around that too, that you reward players for adhering to those, and whether they're doing what they should do, especially if it goes against the best interest of the party, because they're really sticking with that flaw. And I think if you give a bare bones, forget about your backstory, just go with these 4 elements. I think it's kind of like a balance of what you were talking about, DMG, and you can still allow them to develop their character. And I think the Player's Handbook even mentions that you can, those things change. People's ideals change in real life all the time. Absolutely. In the same way that your alignment in the game can change, you may have. Especially if your bond or your flaw or something is you won't rest until you get vengeance on the one who slayed your family, and then you get vengeance, and then you're like Inigo Montoya, now what? The 6-fingered man's dead. What do I do now?
Yeah.
You'd make a wonderful Dread.
Yeah, he's like, I never thought about what I was going to do the rest of my life. I agree. It's like I like to have a little bit of background, but I like to. Like DMG says, I like to build it up in the game. And I encourage that for people to make up stuff on the fly, like, oh, my sister, or, whatever. I encourage that in my game because it's always fun, and I can play off of it. I have a question for you guys. So how do you guys feel about, player knowledge? Okay, so say, you have this little bit of background about your characters. Are you more towards, everybody? Are you more towards everybody kind of knowing the background about the characters, even though it's supposed to be secret, or are you very strict about they can't know any secret background? I actually like to have the characters know the secret backgrounds of the other characters, because I don't let them act on it. They can't act on knowledge that they don't know. But it's always fun story-wise. It's like a movie. When you watch a movie and you see the secret background of a character that other players don't, the other actors in the story don't know about, it's always interesting because you've seen that, and when something happens that deals with that, you could all enjoy it. So if in the game, if everybody knows the secret backgrounds of the other characters, when something happens that pertains to that background and puts the character in, maybe a tricky situation or something, instead of everybody just sitting there going, I have no idea what's going on, the other characters can be like, wow, that they can enjoy that moment. They can be spectators and enjoy that moment. So you guys like that kind of way to do it, which I actually do, or would you rather have everything is super secret, nobody knows any other people's background or that kind of thing?
I start them out with their own individual backgrounds, and then let it develop whatever they choose to reveal they can. That reminded me of this thing that we did at the end of our recent campaign, where they found a magic item. It was a wand, and all it did was, when it was within 10 feet of someone who was a follower of basically the demigod that they were at, the evil demigod they were trying to defeat. Whenever it was in that vicinity, it would start to glow. And this was purportedly they were going to go get it and use it to locate spies and stuff. But as soon as they picked it up, it started to glow. And the fact is, one of the party members was from the very beginning of the campaign an agent of the bad guy, and
gotcha.
the chose to keep that secret. And so that was a really fun session, and so was the one after it, which was the final.
Yeah,
event.
I could see where you'd want to keep that secret. I could understand that. Yeah.
Yeah, the more secrets you have, the more you have to separate players to give them information,
which I hate doing.
Which slows down the game.
Yeah, I hate doing that.
I think what I do is probably a hybrid of that. I will separate players at the very beginning, and especially I run a weekly game at my office, and we've had temps play and other people, so there's people that leave, new players that come in, and I will tell them in private, I'll give them a hook to bring them into the current location, and then I let them choose what they're going to tell everybody else. I absolutely hate the idea. I just started running Adventurers League encounters at one of my local game stores, and it says right in the encounter adventure to separate the players to tell them what their different factions want them to do.
Yeah.
I'm not about... I mean, we're on a tight schedule. I'm not splitting 4 people up that are from 4 factions. So I just tell them all at the table, and then I tell them, none of you know this. Only you know this. And the great thing was, one of our players, who also DMs once in a while, I told him what his faction said, and he turned right to his party and said something completely different. They all knew he was lying as a player, but they went along with what the character was doing because they had no idea.
Right.
And they had
exactly.
no reason to even attempt that. So,
right.
Yeah, I think I have to... I never thought of it from the point of view that you mentioned, Scotty, where it's kind of like in the movie where you see those secrets, because I can see that where you're going to enhance that for those other players. And I want to try that. So thank you for that idea. That's a great idea.
You're welcome. Yeah, I found it's a lot of fun. It's really a lot of fun.
Using literature and films and things.
One that was the whole game was open. Everybody knew everything, but they played their faction the same. But everybody knew everything up front. And then I played one that was everybody was secret. I'll be honest, everybody was open about everything. It was easier to play.
Yeah.
It was more fun, and the storyline the storyline for the game was fun too. So since I played both ways and I've tried to GM both ways, I still go with the way you GM. To be honest with you, because it's easier. One, and to me, creating a story for everybody to have fun, especially when everybody gets mad because my traps are so evil.
I know, you've told me some of your traps. They are evil.
I'll tell that everybody in a bit. But my trap when it comes to playing, I like to make a story. I write like a small story first, and I keep to that story, but I ad-lib bits and pieces. Like say if the story says they're going to a town, I don't write what's going on in town. Like we had one. The town had 3 brothels, and the brothels are fighting each other. And I had the only male that was able to produce. So the brothels really wanted this one guy, and he was a king. And he's like, he looks at me and goes, "What did you do to me?" I'm like, just roll a 6 so you can be able to walk next morning. He looked at me and goes, "Why do I have to roll a 6?"
Are we talking about like secrets from the characters' background point of view?
Yeah.
Are we talking about secrets that you've used that as a hook to get them here, or is it something they've come up with, or something you've kind of fed in them? Okay, here's your background. Here's what happened. here's what you experienced. If you're going kind of that way, why not the best of both worlds? Why not give them a couple of things, and say every player has 2 big secrets or however many you want to do. Let one of them be known to the party, so you get that sort of feel that you're talking about, Scotty. And then kind of mix it up a little bit, write on a note card everybody's secret, and then hand it out to the players, so that one player knows the other player's secret, so you kind of have that intrigue, and they like, hey, I know your secret, or hey, this guy's working with the bad guys. They can kind of depend on what they want to do. Are they going to play it to their advantage? Are they going to be the quintessential paladin and reveal it to everybody? What are we, where are we going to go with it?
Also,
that's a fun idea.
You could write out some cards. So you get a whole bunch of cards and you write a whole bunch of secrets. So let's say there's 8 secrets. And then you give it to the first player, and he gets to choose one of those, and then takes one, and then he hands it to the next player, and they get to see all the secrets, but they don't know who got what before them, and they only know the secrets that are coming after them, which makes it more interesting back and forth. So the last guy doesn't know anything.
Sounds like
mean.
You could do it like that old that game Operator, or something like that, where you're whispering in each other's ear a message until you see what it comes back to. Just have them whisper their secrets to each other and see what they come back as, and then have them play with that background feature.
Oh, right.
I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna try that, and I'll let you guys know how it turns out.
Hey, I have another question for you
grab
guys.
a note card.
Yep.
So
should I tell them about my evil trap?
Hold on, Scotty's got a question. Hold on.
All right. Hey.
Okay. Yeah. So here's another question for you guys. So I know, Sean, you're talking about you're mostly a player. This may not apply. But do you have a hard time letting go of the DM role when you play?
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Like I have a really hard time letting go, because when I'm playing the game, I'm thinking, oh boy, I would do it this way, or I DM it. I wouldn't have DM it that way. I would have done this way. I would have allowed the players to do this. I would have. Do you guys do that? I mean, I don't say this stuff in game. I don't say, oh, you should do it this way. But I'm sitting there thinking it. I'm thinking, oh, I wouldn't have GM'd it that way, or I wouldn't have made that call, or I would have allowed the players to do this.
I've gotten better at that, because the guy that DMs our 7-player game, I taught him how to DM, or rather, I gave him some pointers. I didn't tutor him or anything.
Everybody has their style, right?
And I think after our first 2 sessions, it was solicited advice. He asked me what I thought, and I said, well, I'd have done this differently, and I would have done it this way, but I like the way you chose to approach it. And I usually, for about the first half hour or so, I find myself sitting as a DM, and it takes me about a half hour, once you get into the rhythm of the role-playing, to get back into that character, and then I stop thinking that way. But yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. when you can't, you're not thinking as your character, you're thinking as the backseat DM.
Right, I know. I try not to do it, but it's really hard for me it's really hard for me to let go of it.
What I find fascinating with watching people's games online and having played in other games is this obsession with getting the party together. I don't understand why people just don't okay, you're in a battle. You guys already know each other. I don't understand why there has to be this long half-hour, I'm an elf ranger, and I'm an orc wizard, and,
because I want to be the mysterious man by the fireplace.
My first session at Adventures League Encounters, I came into the session playing a dwarven monk. And I was prepared to have to meet in a tavern and everything. And once we were ready to play, the DM goes, so you guys are in the town of Red Large, and a sinkhole opens up in the middle of the street. What do you do?
I love that.
We were,
I love that. That's awesome.
I'm seriously within 3 minutes we were role playing. We were tying ropes off because kids fell in. We're trying to rescue the kids, and the elders are yelling at us, and it was fantastic. We didn't waste 2 hours. Now that's not to say that there isn't a place for that if you have the players that want to do that, but particularly if you're trying to run a one shot.
Yeah.
Throw them into it. You guys,
Yes.
I'm writing a one-shot that I'm actually going to be posting whenever it's ready. I'm going to be posting it on the Tabletop one-shot group. It's called the Tiger Paw Archipelago, and it's a pirate-based adventure with a series of islands. And that's exactly how it starts out, is that you are a crew on a ship, and your captain is telling you, we're after this treasure. Boom, you're in the adventure.
Right.
You already know everybody.
Bam.
Well, I
Exactly.
played in a vampire game where the game started in a car chase. So the characters are all in a car
That's awesome.
and they're being chased and they're already shooting. That's how it started. Who are you and what are you doing? It's like, okay, well now the cops are after you, you're all guns blazing, and I pull out my rocket launcher. Damn, you have a rocket launcher?
Right.
To me, that's the best way to start the game because you learn about the character.
Sounds like when I do my trap games.
Yeah.
I run games that are constant, like almost the whole game, every part of the whole dungeon, everything is a trap.
Oh man, I know that's brutal.
And I told, and a lot of people go, what's the goal? What's the goal to get out of your dungeon? To survive. I've thrown people into there's a giant boulder rolling at you. What are you gonna do? And there's 3 doors. You choose one. Please make sure it's the right one.
Well, when Arthur was doing his channel, he started doing a podcast. I think Nathan, you were on one of them, and he was asking for people for suggestions on how you'd start with putting the characters together. One of mine was, all of a sudden you awaken in a graveyard and there's a necromancer standing over you, and he turns to his sidekick and goes, "These are not the adventurers we're looking for," and walks away, and that's how the game starts.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's a great way to start. Oh my gosh. And you're naked.
Why play? Why play at all? You have to have fun. Fun is the main thing.
I mean, that's what it's about. It's about having fun at the table, and I mean,
you're gonna have
started off with something happening. Started off with a combat. Started off with something exciting or interesting.
Well, but with 7D system, what we've been doing, because we're constantly adding new characters and things to the game, is
like trying them out.
Yeah, just trying out different characters and different skills and stuff. And one of the things, because you have to choose like an occupation, so you're like a candlestick maker or a fruit maker or a grave digger or a rat catcher or whatever. So you're never like a fighter or a wizard. You have to evolve into that kind of character. And it's very easy to introduce new characters because you're walking down the street and all of a sudden you pass a guy who's making boots by the side of the road and hey, you have a strike of conversation and boom, he's part of the party. Thank you. It's like, now we need a cleric, or now we need no, just like street urchin. Okay, we'll take you on. And then
we need more urchins.
That's right. And the way that the balance of the game works is that you can have different characters of different skill levels all playing at the same time, and it's not actually going to stuff up the game.
Yeah, because that could get tricky. The whole level thing can be tricky when characters die and that kind of thing.
Yeah. That's why I don't like levels at all. It's just especially when with writing modules and things, it's like, you have to think about what level the character's going to be, and that's why I'm not specific about monsters. I prefer it to be, this is the environment, and this is the kind of thing that you can put in there. And you can adjust the difficulty according to what sort of level your party is, but the rest of it kind of remains the same.
Oh, I know. I can run. I can run almost at any adventure with any party because I can adjust it mentally.
That's how I prefer to do it.
Yeah.
There's that whole section in the DMG, the Dungeon Master's Guide. The other DMG.
Hold on.
What? There's another one.
Yeah. He's like an onion. He's got multiple layers. But yeah, there's that whole section that's all about balancing encounters, and I still haven't read that because it's math, and I've talked before about how I don't do math. I'll just mess around with the whatever I have to DM fudge stuff if I've thrown something too dangerous at them, or too light. It's more about what do I need to do to make the encounter more fun.
Right.
I threw a Minotaur in front of them one time that I realized, and mostly this was time and not balance. They didn't have time to fight the Minotaur and still get to the big bad evil guy. So I turned the Minotaur at the last second. It's an illusion. And they spent about 10 minutes figuring out why are our shots going through it? And then it would disappear and reappear somewhere else. And finally somebody's like, I don't think this thing is real. So when they went over to where it was, the beholder showed up behind them. And then that's what they spent their time on.
Right.
But it's like you said, it's about, I want to put in there what I want to put in there, not what I have to, because math tells me they can only handle 500 XP worth of monsters, but it's not real XP, it's XP value. I don't know. I don't get it.
I never figure out mathematically how many guys the party can deal with. I basically know intuitively the group, and I know how many they can deal with.
Right. Yeah.
And if it's not enough, you can always add more. If they're just beating the snot out of them, add more. I mean, you're the GM. You can do whatever you want.
Zach knows this because he's sitting behind me again. But I've told him this. I'm running him through the starter set. I have not altered the number of monsters yet. The most I've done to nerf them is I'll take away their to hit and their damage bonus. So they're rolling straight rather than, because it's him and his bird son are taking on 12 goblins in a cave, and I'll tell you what, he cleared the cave and made out of there with the pet wolf, with very little, other than nerfing their to hit. I let him deal with the consequences, and he got some lucky dice rolls in there, and I had some unlucky ones, rolling really low damage or rolling ones when you're next to the boss guy. Stuff like that. So, yeah, I mean, eventually something's going to happen and he's going to get killed. And he's going to hate me for a little bit. And then we'll roll a new character.
I got a question for you guys.
Just run in through
Have
under the
anybody
tavern.
beat that again?
Then they'll be sure to get killed.
Make sure he rolls up about 6 characters.
My favorite thing is putting mini games in games. Have any of you guys done that? Like a mini game in a game?
I've done kind of like puzzles and stuff, so I kind of consider that, I guess, a mini game.
See, my favorite mine was to get a character to go up a level. Yeah, he had to play another wizard in chess and win.
Interesting.
So, that's what I call a mini game, because the two players are playing a game. So what I would do is have the guy that's the wizard, the two wizards. I would take a chess set out and say, "Here's your board," and have them play during the game.
Oh wow! Doesn't that take a long time?
Now, if you make sure it's a 2 minute per move game, quick speed chess.
Okay,
so,
gotcha.
So it's small. I do small things like that. Like one of my traps was a Rubik's Cube, because I knew one of the guys that play with us, he could finish the Rubik's Cube in 1 minute and 22 seconds.
Wow, jeez.
And he's talking about this is the one that has the 9 side, not the old school Rubik's Cubes, it's one of the big ones, the box ones. So I said, to be a smart ass, I put a Rubik's Cube in the room. I said, this is the key to get out of the room. I said, oh, by the way, you have to finish it under 1 minute.
Well, it's good you knew that he could do it. I mean, you knew he was good at it. Yeah. So that works
like,
good.
So I try to play to the player I have with me, the group. Like my one friend's a mechanic, so every time we have when we're playing, we're playing a steampunk role play with vampires right now, and since he's a mechanic, I have him always fixing the car. And he hates me for it. He's like, "What's wrong?" "Oh, well, the alternator in the car died, so you have to repair it now, and that's your next half hour." I don't want to mess with you right now. You're fixing the car. I'm having these guys shoot vampires right now, and you're just repairing the car so they can get the heck out of here. So, and I try and mix up my games like that. Like I play with the character's real personality in real life to a game player too, even though.
So I actually kind of by necessity have to have alternate storylines and paths set up because I run this weekly game at my office, and it's not uncommon. I work for a publishing company, and we take one day a week, we take a 90-minute lunch, and we make it up during the week. But occasionally people have meetings, and they can't make it, or vacations, or whatever. And so I have to account for the fact that I don't have a player there, or right now I've only got 3 players, so we had one day where 2 players didn't show up. And I don't know if anybody's familiar with this, but during the play test, N-World ran a adventure design contest, and the winner was an adventure called Mind Blast, where the players go to a sanctuary where there's these monks that they basically curate memories. And it's under attack, and memories are swirling all over the place. And while they're trying to put the fire out in the memory vault, which is all these clay jars, one of the clay jars, actually several of them, broke, and one of the players failed their save and got the personality of a pixie inside her. And this was actually a random roll from what was generated, and it was you have Honora Inkwing, the pixie princess, in your mind now. So now that's all the information I had. So I've been kind of role-playing what she hears in her head. Well, when the other players didn't show up, I had like 3 minutes to come up with a storyline, and what we started to run. And one of the other players wound up showing up, so we only briefly got into this. But I said, okay, you fall unconscious, and you wake up and find out you are Honora Inkwing. You are no longer Taywin. You are Honora Inkwing, and you are on the run because your parents are forcing you into a marriage that you don't want. And the rival kingdom has sent their dragonfly riders to try to capture you. That's all I set up. And the other girl showed up, and she's to play, and she heard the setup for that, and she goes, "Man, I want to play that now." So I'm actually writing a brief one shot now where the characters will play as pixies. They'll have classes, but they'll have the base pixie stats, and
that's fun.
It's one of those things. It's the nice thing about having somebody's got another personality is I can have them slip into this other world. I've also used the Minds of Madness. I made it start raining in the room they were in at the start of the session, and then there was a crash of lightning, and all of a sudden they were standing outside of the Minds of Madness. And the one benefit was they got to keep any XP and items that they found in there, came with them back to the other world. The only thing was that in that world, because there weren't any other players, death wasn't permanent. Death was unconsciousness. So yeah, I think in that sense, I've always got to have a trick or two up my sleeve to run something for only having 1 or 2 players instead of 3 or 4.
Right.
G-Info, you still there?
Yeah.
So what's your take on a mini game in the game to keep the game going? What do you think?
I tend to do. I mean, I don't really do mini games, but sometimes I use cutscenes where they will see something else that's happening in the universe that's unrelated to them but is related to the story. And they're like, so like in a movie you would see the heroes, but then you would see the villain doing something. But they don't know the context of what's happening. So that's okay. Now this is what's happening. There's things happening in this story, and then you, as you play, you start to reveal things that link up to that. So I only do like a 2 or 3 minute sort of talk, or describing what's happening in this cutscene. But I have used that before. And that's very interesting because people then want to know how it all links up. What was the guy doing?
Right.
All that kind of thing links together. It's very cool.
That's something I've been meaning to do. I haven't really done it much, but I've been meaning to do it. I do it sometimes, kind of, not literally as a cut, but like maybe someone has a dream or that kind of thing, kind of thing. But yeah, I would like to do more of that cutscene type thing.
Where you experiment with it is do it like for 2 rooms later.
Uh-huh.
So the goblins are there's a bunch of goblins working in an office or something, and they're busy building something. It's not really clear as to what it is they're building. But they're having an argument, and then it cuts back to the players, and you play through the next room, and then the next room is the goblins, and then you see what they're building is something that's very lethal to them or whatever, and so you can experiment by only going 2 rooms ahead, and then you can branch out into more larger meta narrative stuff.
Right.
But yeah, it's an interesting way of changing up the game and making
it is. It's a really cool way to draw everybody in. Yeah. I like that idea.
You see a room and it's completely dark, and there's in the center of the room is this pedestal, and above the pedestal hovers the sword that is bathed in sunlight. But you don't know how. You can't see the ceiling or anything. And then you cut back to the players, and they're okay. What was that?
Right. It definitely gets. I'm sure it definitely gets their attention, though.
The players see, now the players know that there's a sword, but the characters do not. So you're starting to dump certain narrative information into the game,
which makes it richer. Yeah.
It gives you clues as to where the story is headed.
Fun.
Right.
I love that. If I ever go to Australia, I have to meet you and get in one of your games.
Yeah, I need to do more of that. I really do.
I always say, watch movies and read books and think about how the story is put together in those.
Right.
When I was writing Under the Tavern, I wanted to like, as the DM reading it, I wanted you to feel like you wanted to find out what was going to happen next. So it doesn't actually explain what's going on. You kind of have to like read ahead, so it's got that that sort of episodic feel to it.
Right.
That was a conscious decision to do that, because then you as the DM are more invested in it because you've read through and you know what's going to happen.
Right.
And you got a kick out of it. Now you can put that sort of same energy into the game. Because you know what's going to, if the characters really need to find that secret passage, make it just a little bit easier because you know that's going to be cool.
Right.
Things like that. That's very important, I think.
Right. Yeah, I think. Yeah, definitely. The more involved everybody is in the story, the better it is.
And it is all about the story.
It is. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, you're making the story with the characters. With the other players. But yeah. And, always feed off what the characters give you, If you're going to do something one way and the character thinks it's this way, why not make it that way? They don't know, make it because they're like, oh, I figured this out, I'm a freaking genius, or oh yeah, or they usually say something worse than you thought of. So yeah, feed off of what they give you. Like
the best puzzles are the ones
absolutely
so simple that they would they overthink it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
yeah.
Trust me, all my traps are that way. I told Scotty about the bridge trap.
Yeah.
He's like, that is just wrong.
It is just wrong.
I'm gonna say what this trap is now, and I think anybody's gonna play as a DM, they're gonna steal my trap, but I let you have it. It's fun.
We all love to steal each other's traps.
So Nicholas has just said in the comments he's writing various degrees of riddles for his campaign. One thing you need to understand with riddles is you need to be prepared to explain certain things or give clues to how to interpret the riddle. So you may want to lead up to a riddle using similar language that's easy to decipher, so that when they get to the main riddle that's a little bit more complicated, they know how to think about the riddle. Otherwise they start going off on a tangent, and you can see that they're not thinking about it the right way.
Right.
And then you've got to do checks and all kinds of stuff. So be very careful with riddles.
You do. Yeah, you can't get. Yeah, you got to be careful with it.
But yeah,
but you can give them clues. You can give them clues, like you say. Yeah.
Oh, I always give clues to every trap I do, every riddle. Because you have to
like
give
if they're not getting it, keep giving some subtle clues. You know, then
if you
they'll
don't
eventually pick it up.
if you don't give them breadcrumbs, they're not going to ever find a way to get to the path to do the right things. You're not going to get your player to go where you want them to go, even if they say, "Oh, I want to go left," and you know for a fact that the whole party will die if they go left. And you want them to go right, and then it's like, please don't go left. And you want them to go right. You're like,
well, you can give them a warning, and if they ignore the warning, well, that's their own. That's their own fault.
You want to consider foreshadowing. Foreshadowing is very important, and I use that a lot in Under the Tavern, where you come across, in the secret room, you come across the empty coffin.
Foreshadowing is great.
Awesome. And then there's a couple of stakes lying around, and then you find more stakes, and then you find some holy water. You know you're going to hit a vampire.
Right, exactly. Yeah, and they'll eventually get it. They're like, oh, right, yeah.
When you leave enough stakes lying around and people writing, there's something after us,
Yeah.
But all my traps, anytime I do a trap, I give a warning about the trap right in plain view. And for some weird reason, every person that ever plays the place when I'm a DM for, they don't look at the obvious thing. So I always put it in the obvious place. There's a giant sign. It says, "Do not go on bridge that's over this weight." No one reads.
Yeah, but sometimes something you think is obvious is not obvious to other people.
Well, it's
exactly.
like the second.
I've gotten in that trap as a GM too.
At the end of the second level and Under the Tavern, where you come across the last thing is a trap. And the trap is disabled, and by disabling the trap, you re-enable it, because that's
what I would do.
That's the whole. Because and if they don't see the trap, it's fine. They just walk through, nothing happens.
Right.
But, invariably you come to the narrow.
We're gonna
corridor,
check and find it. Right.
And all the narrow corridors before have all been traps in the game. So and so they look for it, they find it, and of course the rogue, first thing he's going to do is try and disable the trap, and that's the actual trap. Is that now you're setting it up.
Yep.
Right.
I've done that. Well, my favorite trap I've done, and this trap has gotten whole parties killed, or a very ingenious young newbie that just joined the group figured it out. Because everybody has that one new guy that will ask every single question and drive you crazy, but you want him to do it anyway. So this is how my evil trap goes. You go into a corridor, big cavern, bridge, sign in front of bridge, and a whole bunch of other things around it. Everything has moss on it, so it's old. I mean, it's really old. On the sign it says, "If over weight of one night, don't cross." So anybody can go across, but usually a weight of a night is typically a normal person that has full gear on, right? So person goes across the bridge collapse. Oh snap! This guy's going to die. This is where it gets tricky. Out of nowhere, when he falls down, he hits a net. Now, there's a fan underneath. Fan starts blowing the guy up. And there's a plate on the ceiling. And another net. Shoot up, hit the other plate. Now, the fan that's on below you decides to go in reverse. This is when you have a hot dog and a metal fan in handy. Your character just went right there, hot dog. I did it to a whole party, not just one, a whole party, because what happens is the bridge reforms. One guy did this, and he was the newbie. He decides to look at me. He goes, "I'm stripping naked and running across." I'm not kidding. He streaked across. I let him do it. He goes, I go, when you get across, you see a button. You push a button, a metal bridge forms up, locks in place, and your whole party can go across to the next room. Guy goes, everybody looks at me and goes, "It was that easy?" He didn't have to strip naked. The guy didn't have to strip nude to get across. He just had to be lowered in a night. All you had to do is put his gear down. You go walked across press the button, the metal bridge pops up, and your whole party can go across. It was that easy. I had a warning. It says, "Do not go on bridge if this weight." It was right in front of the bridge. I mean, you cannot miss the sign.
You can't get much more obvious than that.
I mean, it was right in front of the bridge. When the game was over, I circled it for everybody on their map that I drew, because I gave everybody a map. I went, "Here, guys. What did I circle there?" It says "sign here." No one asked why it was a sign said "sign here." It was not someone needing a signature. It meant there was a sign there.
I once had a sign that said, please do not feed the Dracula.
Oh, so you want to talk about weird something? Now, this is something I lived in Florida, and I was walking through a park, and I had to take a picture of the sign, and it's a real sign in Orlando, in a park. It says, "Please do not sleep with the alligators."
Well, people are pretty dumb. You
Now,
gotta
here's the concept.
If you really want the party to go into the room, you put a sign on the door that says "Do not enter." I did that in Under the Tavern. If you've seen the PDF, the main room has the thing on the door, "Do not enter." And what are they going to do? They're going to go inside. It's like, it's foregone conclusion.
Oh, yeah.
A famous thing with the world's first interactive movie was this thing in the 50s where they shot this film.
Scratch-offs and all that?
Yeah, they shot this film where the audience got to hold up a paddle that said, yes or no. And at the end of the film, it was like, should this character die, yes or no? And of course, the entire audience goes yes. And so they play that ending. They never shot the no ending. They only ever shot the yes ending because they knew
that's
everyone
hilarious.
was going to say yes.
That's hilarious.
And so it was
but you think you have a choice. You think you have a choice.
So they have this, and it was a huge success because everyone thought it was great. You get to choose the ending of the movie. It's like, and they spent no more on the budget. All they had to do was stop the projector and get everyone to hold these paddles up. And they started the projector.
That's fun. Hey, in the chat, O'Malley's talking about how do you move your minis? I'm not sure if I understand what he's trying to ask.
How do you move your minis and your tiles independent of grids? I think.
Yeah, and there's one down at the bottom. So what's he asking?
I think he's being by distance, like he's trying to move distance and all that. Yeah. That's what he's trying to talk about. He's
like how much you move?
Yeah.
Yeah, measuring stick.
Well, it depends on the system. Yeah, measuring stick is just an easy way. 1 inch equals 5 feet. Some other systems are a little different. Might have a different measurement. You could use that. So an inch might equal 2 yards or something instead, or 2 meters instead of 5 feet. So it just depends what system you're using.
I don't have the constitution or the bladder for a 6-hour show, so I'm wondering if you want to continue on or.
I guess we should end it up now.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's been
that sounds
4
good.
hours.
Hey, come on! I just came back.
No, Nathan, our record holds strong.
Yeah, your record holds strong.
You are
That's
the
all.
gods.
We'll be hosting another. Nathan and I will be doing another we'll be doing another live crafting sometime in the next few weeks. We're going to coordinate that.
Tomorrow.
So what time do you guys usually start those?
Let's see. I think we started it around 8:30.
8 Eastern.
Start
8
earlier.
Eastern.
They did it at 8:30.
What day do you usually do it?
We did that one on a Saturday.
Friday
gotcha.
or Saturday? Yeah.
Okay.
See, I'm going to start a Patreon so I can pay for babysitters so that I can start earlier.
so you don't have little puke
Please
monsters.
subscribe so I can have a babysitter and play.
I'm thinking about setting up a Kickstarter because I want to try to make a makerspace here
Cool.
in Poconos. And I don't know if I should do a Kickstarter for it or do a GoFundMe campaign. Because what I want to do is I want to make it. See, I'm in the Poconos. Now, you hear about makerspaces in the cities. You hear them in Philly, New York, Chicago, bigger areas. But you never hear them about in rural areas at all. And there's tons of kids here that make stuff. I mean, I went to the flea market just recently when my brother sells electronics. There was this young kid selling wooden hand-carved orcs out of wood.
Wow.
And he was selling them for $1 a piece.
Dang.
Now, if I didn't spend my last $10 on food for my kids, I would have bought these orcs and showed them online what this kid's doing because he's trying to make. He's also he's going to be making an Etsy store of him having these hand carved wooden orcs. Now, cool. I mean, he sits there at the flea market. He'll sit there with a piece of wood and a whittling knife and carve orcs. I mean, these they look like now how can I explain it? They're about, they're a little bigger than 28 mil.
Uh-huh.
They're a little bigger, you know what I mean? They're hand carved, so they're to scale at all.
Right.
But in my head is I could use these as orc golems or something like that for a game.
Oh yeah, totally.
I was and I asked the kid, I said, how many do you make? Because I made 1,000. I have them at my house.
Dang.
I'm like, dude, you should bring them all here. People will buy them because he
need to change his name to Soraman.
Now the kid's 17, and I asked him. I said, "Why are you doing this?" He goes, "Oh, my friends wanted some orcs for a party. We play Dungeons and Dragons and all that." And I'm like, "You made these for just your game?" He goes, "Yeah, why not?" I'm like, I said to him, I said, do you watch YouTube? He goes, not much. I have some people for you to watch. Here's the 3 list. And I gave you 3 guys, Nathan, Scotty, and DMG Info, your channels to watch. So you might have a new subscriber that makes these orcs.
Cool.
Now,
I'd love to see a picture of these.
We have to stop there because I'm about to explode.
I'll take it.
All right. So, thank you to everyone all over the world who's joined us live. At one point, we had about 25 people watching.
Yeah.
And thank you to everyone who has watched this from the beginning all the way through to the end.
Yeah.
When it's no longer live.
Yeah.
Now it's going to turn into the Crappers Tavern.
Yeah, that's it. You do not want to see the after show special.
Nathan gets inspiration for that.
Thank you everyone for joining us. Don't forget to check out Scotty's Patreon and
yes, thank
channel
you,
there.
everybody.
Like and subscribe to this video. To subscribe to Scotty's channel, and you can check out my channel, the DMG Info, where you can also like and subscribe, where you'll be constantly reminded to do so. And the various guests we've had, and also check out Wylock's crafting vids. We need to get, by the end of today, we need to have him up at 90. So today is my day, Saturday, so we've still got about 10 hours left in the day. Alrighty.
Hey, don't tease us saying like that many times without giving us an official DMG like button. Come on now.
Like,
Very.
Excellent.
Because I can.
Go forth and craft.
So with that experience we had, and also refresh my screen for a second there. Okay. So Scotty, how do we normally sign off?
Go forth and craft.
Excellent. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye, guys.
So is this Crafter's Tavern after dark now, or what?